Mark this as you. We never have to. We will talk about it in the future, but we are never going to talk about alchemy in a breakdown sense again. I'm going to break it down once, simply, and I'm going to take out all the fluff because that fluff, your brain's going to add it anyway. You don't need me to fucking jumble it up. But we'll break it down like this for you guys. I'll just spizz out the gate, should I? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you guys are smart. Okay. For reference, does everyone understand the philosophical photos in alchemy, like the alchemical marriage of the sun and moon? Does everyone know what I'm talking about here? Just pull it up on your Google and stare at it while I'm talking. I think that'll be easier for you. Right. This is a psychic alchemy where through philosophy you enter a different state of mind. You become gold. You become genius once you do this enough times. And it's so fucking simple. Jung broke it down well, but we have never watered one thought in history without emotion. Like you've never had a thought that wasn't emotionally charged because those ones are fleeting, they disappear quicker. Meaning every thought that's emotionally charged is you entering that state of mind, and that's how you get stuck. That's why the life and death process, that's why the whole cycle of everything has a beginning and end, that's why it's repeated in every culture. Because if everything has a beginning and end, why have you never assumed your failure has an end? Why have you never thought, hey, this moment I'm in, I can transmute it, I can go somewhere else? You believe it for everything except your mindset. And when you see the symbols, and it's good, these symbols are drawn to help us understand this, and it goes very far when you look at it. The sun, you just post the sun and the moon, the alchemical marriage, a simple one, nothing too crazy. Uh, Not that one, that's a little too crazy. Yeah, we're gonna post this on my website. This is a really good one for you guys because this encompasses everything in the world. Like, um, you can't experience something without a mindset. You can't experience go karting without the mindset of you're going go karting. So you're a race car driver that day, even whatever, even if you're not a race car driver, you still go, oh, you kind of mentally prepare for it. And it gets a little emotionally watered by the excitement or the experience you know you're going to have once you go there. But when you look at the sun, the solar, as thinking, thoughts, and the moon is feelings, all you have to do is live in the thought that is emotionally charged through feeling. So you have this vision of you want to be a YouTuber. It will never come to fruition without you living in the feeling. How do you live in the feeling? However you did anything in life that you were successful in, you just repeat that formula. And it's so weird that even at the highest level of success, man forgets this, right? Because you don't write down a structured way of manifestation. So you're like, oh, I'll just do that again. Dude, what happens in the alchemical marriage of thought and emotion? They have a baby, which is your new guiding star, your new idea. That new idea, literally, it's a paradigm shift in reality. You wake up in a different world, even if you don't notice. And I've done this in an aggressive way, and that's not always healthy, but there's so many people who even have used drugs and stupid means to see things differently, and it changed something, which is, I don't recommend that. But changing your state of mind without drugs, like just that will, man, it's so scary how when I did this, I kept going back to my old habits. Then I said, all right, 2024, dragon year, let's try this perfectly. I ran it perfectly, and then I got more precise. And now I feel scared. Bro, I woke up today and I'm like, dude, how the fuck are we at a sales peak? I'm making the most I ever made doing this shit. And where the fuck are they? It's just you guys. And I'm thinking to myself, Dimmy, Dimmy, did you see how much I'm making this month? You getting a cut of that? Dimmy, what is this, fucking 2 hours of work a month? Or excuse me, a week? Or even less. It's been 2 hours in 3 weeks. So, Dimmy, right now, my hourly is like $45,000 an hour. Dude, this is wild because I'm from streaming world where you have to work for money, dude. And what if yeah, that's fucked up, man. I think of all the years on earth where I never wrote down a system. Should I come up with a book? Yeah, that book is for me. Anytime I make something for me, it really pops off. Have you noticed? Yeah, I should make a book. And it's so weird how all those retards who talk about the law of attraction on YouTube and they have books and shit, they're kind of right, but they don't really break it down. I mean, I'm the first human to figure out what those medieval texts mean, not just the philosophical art, but also the text. And I'm like, whoa, most people would keep this shit to themselves. That's crazy, dude. You can actually change your mind of who you are every single day of your life, which you're supposed to, right? Like you could be a basketball player every day, but a better one. And then the weirdest thing is that it's about being. How many times have you said to yourself, I will do something? It's the gayest mindset on earth. You are doing something. I will go to LA and film content. I am in LA filming content. That's the only way to think is to transport it to where you are. Why do you think God gave us the being, the present? Why the present? Anytime you shift your mind into the present, wow, the biggest psyop is that they never taught us how to use our brains. Obviously, you guys are like, look at me all scared, like, why is he freaking out? But I don't know, I just woke up and I was like, there's no way there's going to be good news again, because I clock it like every week. And my brother just rushes in laughing. He's like, dude, you're killing it. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything. And he's like, yeah, well, your gay manifestation shit's working. I was like, what the fuck? And he won't hear me out for it. He just like keeps me positive because he's like, usually he'll piss me off, but he's afraid to piss me off. He's like, when you're positive, this shit grows, bro. Like this guy has his own business, makes his own money, but I'm pulling him into my website because I'm like dangling more extra money in his face. And I'm like, dude, if I get to build this website with my brother over 10 years, wow. Because I can really trust him, he's intelligent. The weird thing is, if you talk to yourself all day and have big excitement loops, this is the horrible part of manifestation where it starts to feel like a bullshit, is you're getting a charge from it, right? Sorry, excuse me, I just came back from a run. Basically, if you're getting a charge from it, if you're getting a high from the great thoughts you're thinking, it's not good because that a high implicates a low, right? Did I use the word correct? Basically, you don't want a high and low. You want the feeling, which is not a charge. The feeling can last all day. You can take it to bed with you. And obviously, the guys who I've talked to one on one, I get specific with these guys. Right now, I can't really explain that. I can only explain the most important part is it's not a charge, bro. It's not. I've told 10 guys yesterday this, and they wouldn't get it. They're like, yeah, I'm doing the dream gazing, and I'm gazing, and I'm getting really stoked. And I'm like, that's not it, dude. You can't get stoked about it because then it's not a feeling all day. A charge is up and down. That's unhealthy. It's so bad to impress seeds into your unconscious that way because you have more to fulfill that way. You want to do it. It sounds crazy, but in the most casual, you already have it way. And here's the weird part. You believing you already got it and it's yours and you don't need it anymore, it magnetizes it to you, whatever it is. Have you noticed every time you say, I want that girl, it's not your bitch? But when you let go of the thought, she comes around? Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced that with friends, with business, with... When you look back in your history in life, you've had that experience with everything. And you're like, wow, why was I magnetic when I just let go of wanting it? But you want it, so you can't let go. John, I can't let go. I'm not telling you to let go. I'm telling you, you already have it. So let go. And then you think about it in your head, and you feel you have it, you let go, and that's it. Now it's coming to you. And you're like, well, now I don't really want it as much. But you still want it. It's my most research subject in years, but it's the one I hate to talk about. I've never even had a YouTube video talking about this stuff because, let's be honest, you sound crazy when you talk about this subject, right? So I've always avoided it until I wrote down a formula like a science. And now this formula is, I'm getting cocky, bro. I'm actually believing my formula is better than... It just hit me with questions so I can, because I have no idea. Everyone's thinking different things now, right? Does imagination affect the alchemical marriage? That's what it is. It's imagination, right? So basically, imagination can be, let's say, frigid, where it's just thoughts. A lot of the critical thinkers have this, or you like left brain guys, and a lot of the feeling guys don't have that. And all you have to do is meet it in the middle. That's all you have to do. You cannot have your dreams come true if they're not emotionally charged thoughts. Do you get it? And if you don't understand what an emotionally charged thought is, if your thought isn't emotionally charged, you don't actually want it. That's a scary place because now what the fuck do you want? And when you realize, man, I had to cut, it took me like weeks and weeks to realize there's a lot of shit I don't want. I used to think, I need to be here. I'm not even in a rush. And I'll never be in a rush again. I already have everything. I will never say I need again. I'm taking that poison out of my mouth, man. No matter if you're broke, medium, rich, whatever, you don't need anything you're thinking about. You already have everything. Now work on it. Work on whatever you're working on without the need. That need is in every culture, bro. That need ruins people when they have billions. That need makes people like Connor, who manifests at a rapid pace. He becomes a fucking crackhead. Like, anyone else seen him tweak? I was like, you guys sent me some videos. I'm like, what the fuck? That's the same guy? He like forgot how to do it. Yeah. No, my mind was blown today. I spent so much time reading about purgatory, how that is what karma is. I was like, where's the karma in the Christian system? It's literally purgatory. It's the same fucking definition. I was reading Unseen Forces by Manny Pial, and I'm like, whoa. He broke it down really well. I'm like, yeah, we don't really learn about purgatory anymore. Have you noticed that? That's more like a 1700s thing. And I was like, why would they take out one of the biggest parts of Christianity? Like, why? Who's the fucking preacher talking about purgatory and the karma system? Or like, you reap what you sow. Dude, 80% of the fucking Bible is talking about thoughts being planted as seeds. And I always knew that, but I was like, And then I realized, oh shit, that's why it's the best book. It breaks this shit down. You reap what you sow is about the thoughts literally being created through you. And check this out. You're always spewing sexuality. That's what creation is. It's not just when you shoot from your nuts. That's lower shit. This stuff that's coming out this way, it's either going down that way into the you wasted it, or up this way into your work. But you're always spewing it, even when you're doing nothing. Does that make sense? Say it back to me if it makes sense. Another thing is, dude, becoming a mystic is middle path shit. It has nothing to do with going to be a monk. That if you go and be a monk, you're not at a higher level of spirituality at all, unless it's your role you've chosen to play, right? And it feels like we all have roles to play. That's why in the Bible it says you cannot enter heaven unless you are from heaven. Like, we're made perfect, and we can tune into realities where we're perfect. And perfect's a strange word because it's not a cocky word, dude. If you close your eyes and imagine your best life, if it comes easy to you because you've done it last year or whatever, then it's always with you. Does that make sense? Like, you just tune into that radio channel, and you have many seeds you plant, which are all conscious seeds, to be honest. I have no idea why these channels talk about unconscious planting. That's retarded. You plant into the unconscious, but you're choosing it. Now check this out. Everything you've thought about does grow. Some things are emotionally charged and grow at a rapid pace. Some things grow slowly, but you eventually see all of them. Even if 10 years pass by and something in the back, well, not that long. Everything within a solar cycle easily is a fucking year. In a year, you'll see everything you thought about. And if you had a shit year, you spent 1 year planting garbage seeds. That's insanity, dude. Right? And even when you understand how to do this, you always go back in your ways. That's why there always has to be a channel like me that goes, go back to what you were doing. Go back. And I got to remind myself too, because everyone I studied, eventually there's guys who they go to the top and then they'll have a divorce up there. So it's so obvious what's happening. They're achieving these heavenly states of consciousness where they have everything they want, and then they say, I have everything, I'm attached to this, I'm staying in this heaven. And the second there's no alchemy, you're not transmuting, the second you freeze, that heaven's taken from you. Right? Like different layers, different molds you gotta go through. That's why when you think about when you're killing it in life, you got attached to that life. You're not supposed to be attached. Even when you're making millions, you're not supposed to be attached to the millions, because it'll leave you, bro. You can't be attached to it, because when you were making millions, you were not attached to it. You're just growing. And I'm like, oh shit. Anytime that the psychic content of sexual generative principle coming out of us through our heads, right? That's how I see it. Anytime we freeze our subject, which is us, bad things happen. That means you have to say, I am the man every day of your life. And it's so weird because you'll be like, well, that's repetitive. It's not repetitive if it's emotionally charged. Then you can say it once and you mean it. And the guys who don't feel like the man, they can say it, nothing happens, right? It's a weakly planted seed. Or they can meditate on the idea of what would it look like? What the fuck would your life look like if you were the man? And now the emotions are coming. And you'll know you got this right when the emotions are natural. They're not spiked. They're just like, yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah. The weird thing is, in a year from now, let's say I do something stupid, even you guys will be like, this guy's got it all figured out. How did he? For some reason, when we let the external hit us, we fall off this. That's why I unfollowed everyone and everything, because I want to stay in this mode. And I'm like, damn, if I turn on the CNN, Fox News, it'll throw me off my game plan. But I'm supposed to respond to politics? No. You are not supposed to respond to politics. You're not supposed to argue with people back and forth on Twitter about flat earth. None of that, bro. You have one seed you should focus on. That'll grow fast as fuck. This 10, 20 seed shit is so. Why did I do that? Because it's fucking addictive to get stuck in that world. That world of, oh, I'm good enough. You're not good enough. You have everything you need. You don't need anything. But you're going to the next level, which is the next day. And really ask yourself, right? Like, really ask yourself. This is going to blow you away. This is going to blow you away. Ask yourself, why do humans go to sleep? There's no other channel that's going to talk to you about this question. Why do humans go to sleep? Practice dying? That's retarded. To heal our body? Why do humans go to sleep? To be resurrected into their new world that they forged. That's why good people have good lives. But good people are stupid. They get stuck in a good life. They don't go further. When we calculate positive people's wins over negative people, it's scary. I thought it was like a 70% positive winning, and then there's some haters who are like, no, man. If you see a hater in a Ferrari, it means he was destined $1 billion and fucked it up and got stuck in $1 million with a Ferrari. You get what I'm saying? That when you see a hater in a Ferrari, it's like their peak when their peak's way higher. I've never seen negative people get anywhere. I've only seen negative states of mind from a positive person who got it positively and then became negative. That's what I've seen. No, I like Andrew Tate where he goes, change my mind. Just change my mind. Yeah, that's like, I get it. It's just, I don't like when people don't break down how to do it. Like, no, none of us go for a walk and imagine our perfect life. You can use music, you can use whatever you want to get into that mode, but do you really think imagination is not supposed to be used as a tool to create? And people are like, well, create, like you're getting the motivation to do it? No, like you literally just one day wake up, bro, and you're famous. Like this shit, I don't even remember when it happened to me. I just woke up and I remember saying, I've done this a couple of times, but this is the biggest time I did it. Do not get attached to it. And I didn't for like 11 months. And I said to myself, yeah, this is supposed to happen. But usually I go, oh, let's go to the club and let's fucking, no. Worked hard. And then I started having precognition that I barely ever spoke about. But I think I did speak about it on Twitter a bit, but I have precognition towards how the events were going to go. I can't explain to you, I can't explain to you. I'm having it right now too, but obviously I pull back on it. I don't really want to touch that until I'm in the US and in creation mode. But man, Yeah, yeah, that's mind-blowing stuff that for months I've been reading all these books, going back to some old books, stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay, it's been years. Just look in the mirror and say, this is the only thing left. This is the only thing that keeps coming back. This is the I am from the Bible is the only thing that comes back to us. Like God lets you use his power in I am. I am healthy. I am that nigga. Yeah. Remember talking about metaphors. I'm like, most people use similes. I use metaphors. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. And I kept running away from this because I'm like, oh, if I read more books, it's going to be a little different. No, dude, I've finished all of Jung. I've finished all of Steiner twice. I've finished a lot of Max Heindel, the stuff that matters. I finished all of Manny Pial like 10 times. I finished Pike. And the only astrological parts is talking about seeds, bro. The sun, your thought that you have from the alchemical marriage, the sun is the seed, bro. And I'm like, it was kind of spooky because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I showed this to all my buddies a few months ago. Am I ready today in May to show my community all this? Because I've had a lot of private calls with guys who actually want a one-on-one coaching on how to do this, and I break it down in I break it down so perfectly because a lot of the guys are like, well, this is my routine. I go, well, these are your triggers. You're getting triggered here, here, here. If you're triggered, you're having a charge. A charge affects the feeling. You can't affect the feeling. The feeling is something you walk with throughout the whole day and not something you hold. It holds you. It's very strange, like a pleasant thought that holds you. And the best part is taking out the emotional triggers throughout your day, like the stupid stuff, the CNN and all that, because then you're at zero. For some reason, at zero, people do great. But it's weird because let's say you have to go collab with Sneak on these guys, they also trigger. So they can fuck you up, but you need to still work with them. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh man, if I do master my mind, I can be a snake oil salesman and say, guys, this is how you do it. But it's gonna look different for everyone because someone has a 3 p.m. trigger, someone might have an 8 p.m. trigger, and those triggers is like, whoa, dude, fuck manifestation. You will never see someone not believe in the law of attraction if they don't have these triggers in their if they have zero triggers in their day, they go, yeah, this shit's working. But if they have triggers, then they start planting weird seeds and they won't tell me about their seeds. And yeah, these seeds are like they grow and they stop growing, and then tomorrow you're triggered and you emotionally grow it, and then you eventually have to battle it, you know. Or in occultism, they say you have to meet these motherfuckers eventually because you're it's like growing dark forces if it's the wrong shit. I'll tell you this, Lil Buns, everyone knows I've read every single ancient record, and I'm telling you, the only one that's factual. You don't even have to believe in God the way I do. Because check this out, let's say Floyd Mayweather doesn't believe in God, but he is loyal to the faith. He has faith in his imagination that he sees himself as champ, and God rewards it. Like, oh, you have faith in that imagination. Faith is rewarded everywhere, right? Christians hate this part because they're, oh no, you can't. Yeah, and there's no good that comes out of Floyd just from Floyd. Same with the devil. We're convinced that the deceiver gives us a perfect life. Dude, those people who have a perfect life literally have the potential for a perfect life. They live up to it and they gave their soul to the devil for no fucking reason. I know, right? We're convinced to think that the devil gave Brad Pitt all that. No, he would have had it anyway. That's how God works. God is infinite good. The devil cannot give you good. He's the deceiver. So the devil just tricks you and says, that good you got from God is from me. Give me your soul. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, that makes the devil so weak. For months, I've been saying this to private calls. I didn't want to do this. I don't want to jumble it up for you guys. But damn, the devil is so fucking weak when you think of it that way. And that makes so much more sense because the Christian messaging of the devil being 50% and God being 50% is satanic as fuck. There's no comparison. Nothing. The devil barely exists in front of the word of God besides in our fucking retard thinking, right? Or in the image of God exists, but not in front of God. No way. Nothing about death can exist in front of eternal life. Nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, Christians are the biggest fucking idiots because have you ever seen one Christian channel that does not make the devil that they one in the chat if all Christian channels make the devil an adversary. I get that's what he's called, but they make him like this 50-50, the raw sun god versus the darkness. They make it this yin and yang. And Jung used to talk about there's no dark side to God. And all Kabbalistic texts, which just means to receive. There's Christian Kabbalah, there's Jewish Kabbalah, there's Hermetic Kabbalah from Egypt, but it's all the same shit. They're talking about the same shit, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this is my biggest issue with Christianity. Is in Christianity, you accept that the devil, you're fighting him. And in old correct Christianity, the devil was nothing compared to, right? Nothing, just a tempter, that's it. But in this new shit, even intelligent people like Nick Fuentes make it sound like we wake up and wrestle with the devil. And when the fuck you see a nice old lady wrestle with the devil? She just walks in the park, bro. You've watered the wrong seeds if you think the devil's that powerful. Like, you're actually doing the biggest disservice to yourself. That old lady at the bar, she didn't water those devilish seeds at all. She just has normal seeds, bro. She just manifested a normal world for herself. Yeah. Yeah. And I always know I'm in the right direction when I go, the devil feels like a blade of grass in front of the infinite God. This makes sense. What's weird is why have all Christians covered up the fact that we create, constantly ejaculate into our own quantum field? Like, why did they hide that shit? Have you noticed that? They'll say, yeah, true, you reap what you sow in, but they pretty much want to say you're stuck in this material world and blah, blah, blah. Very kind of like Gnostic. These Christians are like Gnostic demiurge types that are like, you're stuck. You're not stuck. The fuck? I can't believe how much. Here's what's crazy is if you're 25, that means, yes, you've lived your whole life not knowing how to think. But do you really think the Rothschild Rockefellers would ever incorporate in the educational system how to think classes? They only do how to memory for a test. They will never teach you how to think because that's terrifying to them. And why I don't want to make YouTube videos about this stuff is, have you noticed it's like a holy war with Christians and all these people? I'm sorry to say this, but the average person's a low IQ retard that's never read books, and the average interpretation of the Bible is 100% wrong. But you got geniuses like Nick who wouldn't really get what I'm saying here. And I'm like, if Nick's a genius and he gets the Bible wrong, who the fuck got the Bible right? It's so easy to get the Bible right. It's making God infinite and the devil nothing. That's literally the goal of you living on earth. You don't want devilish shit around you, right? But the way Nick and these mainstream Christians talk about it, it's kind of like we're in a battle with the devil. And yeah, that's fine. But in my head, if it's a battle, you know what a battle means. It means 50-50. And am I fighting for God in a 50-50? And for years, I struggled with this, right? For years, I couldn't become a Christian because I'm like, I don't want a 50-50 battle where my God cannot beat the devil. And it feels like sect versus the God of Ra. But now I realize, dude, it's literally right in the Bible where it says, I am. You can literally borrow The Holy Spirit dwells in you. You can borrow the fucking Holy Spirit and create in that moment your new. This is what alchemy is your new fucking life. Now you could get very satanic and create a very horrible world for yourself. Like for example, these guys who manipulate women, right? They'd be like, I am the only thing she can get and deserve. Have you seen those selfish drug dealer types? The girl actually believes it because he fucking I am'd. It's over. He's transformed. And they're like on drugs, so they're emotionally charged into that thinking that they're like the best for the girl, and the girl's super attached after that. But do you really think it's the drugs? Do you think it's literally the guy's, I don't want to say ego, but it's that focus. And that means Floyd Mayweather and all these successful people have had bulletproof mindsets for creation. Like literally bulletproof. They live in the outcome, in the end. Whoa, this is an insane thought. I never thought of it that way. Boring the Holy Spirit by saying I am. Yeah, because every book says, no, you are God. And it's like, it gets really stupid when you look at it like that, because like, oh, God takes a shit right now. I'm going to take a shit right now. And it gets really stupid. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to give like the ultimate power to you, but the human cannot handle that. Like, what kind of human can handle that? It's very stupid. But they also talk about, this is the most mind-blowing shit, is I'm kind of lying when I say you create your new world. Technically, the way they've broken down for thousands of years is every single possibility, every single blessing is already here. You have it, and God gave it to you. Now you can tune into which world you want to be in. And at first you're like, well, that could get kind of bored. No. You slightly turn into a millionaire. Would you be bored of that? No, you'll run that. But you can keep turning. That turn is alchemy, right? When you turn the knob of the radio, the frequency. This is why Tesla said everything's energy, frequency, vibration, right? And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. That's free will. Nick and all these guys have no one's ever explained to me free will correct. And I had a million notes. And then I said, don't talk to your community about this. Just keep it for yourself, because you don't need the headache. They're going to fuck up your manifesting. They're going to give you a headache. And I said to myself, if they can easily affect my manifesting, then obviously I don't deserve it. But how many times, shut the fuck up, bro. Sorry, guys. How many times have you seen an old man come out of a Chinese restaurant and he's miserable and he works there for $10 an hour and he's 60 years old, and you go, holy fuck. Why does it frustrate you when you see that? Is because you're looking at a man who has not changed his mind in 60 years. That could be your parents. That could be you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You look at a dude who's miserable and you go, oh my God, his face looks like it hasn't changed. There's no sense of wonder in these people's faces. They don't read books, and you start going, well, he doesn't deserve that bad. Yeah, he does. Imagine God gives you the greatest tool, your imagination, where anything you see in shadow, the world of forms, can become real when emotionally charged. Obviously through the harmony of good. You can't just emotionally charge negative shit, right? Because then you have this pendulum effect, right? You want to walk into these. But I'm thinking to myself, those guys like me who every few months, time for a revolution, I need to change everything. Stop transforming every month, right? I know I talked about it for years, but no, just transform every day. Every day your aura, your Super Saiyan aura gets a shade darker, or whatever the fuck you're trying to do, right? But it's not about having like, okay, now I'm a millionaire, now I transform into this. And no, bro, these are steps on Jacob's ladder. You're just taking the next step. They never taught us how to think. I was like, okay, first month correct, second month, third, okay, this is the best year of my life. I really, really enjoying this year. And usually I like adventure. I don't like just business stuff, but I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. The now, the moment is all there is. You can even go back in your past and change events and you'll heal more. So that girl that broke up with you, you guys are cool in your memory. You can redo the memory and you'll let go of that shit. But it's always through forgiveness and gratitude, which is in the Bible, it's themed. It's always through gratitude. It's so weird. Go forgive an enemy in your imagination. It's the weirdest feeling on earth. It's, you think it's hard, it's not. It's so fucking, it'll come natural to you, like God made you fucking good. It's so weird. And it works for breakups and girlfriends and all, ex-girlfriends and all that. But everyone who gets into this stuff starts becoming a monk or something. It's very stupid, right? Because you'll always miss your calling. If you're doing monk shit and your heart's not in it, there's people who enjoy the monk shit. You're going to enjoy your path. Trust me. All those monks got it wrong. Those white monks in the middle of nowhere that change their mind and say they feel like they wasted years. And that's like a trauma. Being a monk through trauma is retarded. Bro, I had no idea there's a spiritual component to money. There's a spiritual component to money. I was convinced making a lot of money is evil. It's so wrong, bro. Especially if you're working hard. Just don't snake people. That's it. Which is very easy to not fucking snake people. Like, I don't know how people have trouble with this. There's a spiritual component to your magnet. And there's no scientific study that can ever prove thousands of people throughout history, right or wrong. Which is funny because you ask 9 out of 10 people and they go, yeah, I do believe in the law of attraction. And then they go back to their normal life. And I'm like, what makes a black belt always stay on point there, but not on the mind? Shouldn't your mind be? And by the time by the time I have 10 Ferraris and shit, won't you feel like you want to like kill yourself because you feel like I should have been on board with Zerka? He did it, and I'm kind of here, and it's kind of like if you guys don't hop on board the positivity train, that feeling of getting left behind is gonna hit you hard. Like you might as well, because I didn't want to talk about this for months because I'm like, yeah, I gotta show them. Now I've shown you guys. I just can't believe for most of my life the law of attraction, I focused on getting chicks with it. Remember, I don't know if anyone heard me say I used to spend time in my bathroom with the lights off, but I'd have LEDs and simulate a nightclub with music and headphones. Do you guys remember when I used to talk about that? And then I would see blurry faces like Jenna, but I didn't know it was Jenna at the time. And then a year later, it was her in front of me, and we were doing the YouTube thing. I was imagining in my head and shit. And I can't believe, well, even if I did study this, it takes a lot of books to get it right because, yeah, some books are so gay. Like, you just gotta feel right, bro. And I'm like, no, I need a mechanical system, something I can write down. I need something. And now I have so much backlogged of what I did correct, and I match it to these books, and it's identical. These books kind of go far, though. Maybe I'm like self-limiting, but they go far. Like, yo, you can manifest $1 billion fucking dollars. I don't ever talk about that shit, right? Because the truth is, you don't even want $1 billion, right? That's how I know you can't manifest it. The humans want very interesting things when you ask them one-on-one. It's rarely ever money. That's the weird part. For most of my guys, when we onion layer them down, it has something to do with a girl, a trip, and some friends. Some kind of like hiking trip with, like, humans want very, not comfort adventure with some like romance. It's very strange how human dreams work. It has nothing to do with, I had to kind of like psych myself out. I was like, oh my God. Most humans don't have money because they don't actually want money. And you're like, yeah, everyone wants money. No, people who want money, their life is more about money, right? Or people who really want money, they're kind of like, they watch Money Channel and all that weird shit, right? Does that make sense? Like the second you realize you don't actually want money, it'll start coming to you because you go, damn, yeah, I haven't really gazed about money as much. Like when people think about money, they're thinking of like a girl that's looking at them. It's not really about the money, so it's very different. Sorry to make the whole stream just esoteric, but this is life changing, man. This is life changing because for years I knew I was getting this right and then wrong and then right. Then I finished all the books and I even got frustrated at one point with the Bible and I went to all these other books and then they just led me to the Bible and I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God that I don't have to. Because I was straight up going to come up to you guys and be like, you know, just go live that Christian life, bro. And these Christian channels are, they kind of just, how many Christian channels have you watched? They kind of tell you to just be the same person. Just be good. And you're like, what the fuck? Have you ever watched Christian channels where you're like, dude, my life's not changing? What the fuck? I'm not trying to say it's like a genie in the bottle thing, but actually it is. It really is. It is for me, at least. Like I watch so many of these Christian channels and I'm like, how are their fans and the channel sometimes in the same spot? They get stuck in this. And then I see these guys effortlessly winning who are always going to the next level and they're just good people. And I'm like, if all blessings, all goodness is from God, that means even the atheists are getting blessed. That's how it works. It's literally in the Bible. It's all goodness from God. Like, human cannot do anything by themselves. Like, you can't. Which really means God gave us all the same blessings in different loadouts. So you're born in Africa, yeah, you can be a millionaire there, which is like with a tractor and 1,000 cows or whatever the fuck it is, or like in my country, 1,000 sheep or whatever it is. That's a millionaire there, but they have the same feelings as Floyd Mayweather, right? It's like kind of the same lifestyle. They get everything they want, blah blah blah. So for your wherever you're born, you get the same blessings, and you have to just grab them. And it's so weird that God wants you to use I am. It's like a demand. It's not. It's being. I am is just in the. God doesn't want you to focus on past or present. Because if you want to manifest a better world, you're not thinking of the future. You're living in the imagination of today as whatever the fuck you want. That's when it gets emotional. You go, oh, if you think about the future, I have a Ferrari, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of what the fuck. If you're living it in your head today, it's happening. Holy shit, that feeling is like, huh, this is achievable. This is, I haven't been doing anything for this. I should start doing some things for this. And I'm not saying you don't do the acts. You do the acts, but it's still not, it's still, half of it's still just going to come to you. It's not you running, like every YouTube channel talks about running towards your goal, and then you run 100% of that race and you get your goal. No, you run half the race, the goal flies right into your hand. That's how it always works. That's how it always works. That's why it feels like a fucking blessing. And the more you do this, the better you get at it, the more you do it out of gratitude, correct? It starts to like, I had the weirdest few months where I'm not doing anything and it's more coming my way. I'm like, whoa. Usually it's me, we're meeting it halfway, but now it's just, and I'm a negative person. So I am positive. Get it? Like if someone like me is getting this shit, mastering my mind, and mastering your mind is just stopping past and present. It doesn't exist. It's just now. That's fucking unreal. Now I get those billionaire books that talk about the power of positive thinking, but they can't. How many times have you had these Warren Buffett type millionaire, billionaire guys? They try and sell you a book, but since there's no emotion when they talk, it kind of just feels like, and you don't really listen. And I'm like, oh, I can bridge this gap right here. I know I can bridge this gap because I can speak from fucking hurt. I can speak from winning. I can speak from any angle. That's what I'm good at. And I'm thinking to myself, they all have the right material in the wrong delivery. Everything past and future is hurting you. And people who say don't think about the past or future, they're snaking you because they're not telling you how to live. You're still stuck. But if all is now and all is this moment, then you don't need anything because it's where you have this moment. I need this girl, I need it. No, you don't. And you will have her when you don't need her. She will love you when you don't need her. You get it? I'm making it big so it hits you guys harder because I'm really worried I sound like those Warren Buffett channels where it's like in one ear out the other. I'm terrified you guys see it like that because everyone gets here, they get the success for a couple years, and then they stop thinking like this. And I'm like, man, if I make that community big enough and positive enough, then when I fall off, they're gonna throw me back and I'll go back to being positive, right? Like I can't lose then because I know humans do that. For some reason, we always go back to the external and get triggered. And now I know why monks are so alone, to avoid all the triggers. But that doesn't kill their desires. They still have some desires for some stuff. Some people actually do achieve this enlightenment phase of their life from killing all desires, but it's fulfilling desires that actually kills them. It's fulfilling desires that actually kills them. It's fulfilling desires that actually kills them. That's when you stop being anxious. And you don't have to actually do it. You just have to fulfill it in your imagination and you're done. And if you're thinking it's like, oh, I gotta do this every day, it's not a chore, bro. It's a band-aid. You just heal. All that da 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 da, you heal when you be it, whatever it is. Now here's the tricky part. What happens when you guys watch me yelling on stream? That's a trigger for you. If I watch my content, it's a trigger for me. If I watch Sneeko yelling, I get triggered a bit. There's a trigger that happens, an external trigger that kind of shakes our creation process. And then some of our seeds are growing slower. They all grow. They never freeze, but they grow slower and stuff. Then we get frustrated. But that's why my biggest success has always been through isolation, visualization, isolation, visualization. There was a time where I just lived in hotels for months. No friends, just, right, content creator mode, rewatch my stuff, the good stuff, and I was euphoric. I can't explain to you how happy I am in isolation. I never say it live because I don't want that for you guys. Isolation is so bad when you're alone. I'm not alone, right? As a content creator, there's shit going on around me, so I can isolate. But you guys, if you don't have friends and family to keep you in that midline, how are those seeds gonna grow if you're not midline? Midline is whole, bro. Yeah, yeah. Try and get me on track because you know how my brain works. Like if you guys get the right questions, I go to the right spaces because I'm going everywhere now. It's, you know, like I can only have genius for a little bit, and I'm being cocky, but I'm telling you guys, it is genius because everyone on earth agrees with me, and then they forget and go fuck up. Even me, you'll see me forget, go come back, and it's genius when we staple this, man. We need to staple this into our fucking psyche. You mentioned guys. We'll get into the girls in a bit. Let's just finish the esoteric because a lot of guys are here for mindset, and why esoteric knowledge is the most important is, dude, they're reading us the Bible the wrong way. Why? Even our own allies are doing that, and it's not like intentional. They don't know what they're doing, but you're gonna meet a lot of like kind of loser Christians who don't have their lives together, and they're just like, be good, and yeah, we get that. We get that. Or they give you monk answers like, just kill your desires. And it's like, what? What do you think? Even when you kill your desires, you're still desiring for something. You're still going to work to achieve something, right? So it's very weird what they're saying. Yeah, I just feel like mastering your mindset is going to help you guys with not just chicks, with everything. But man, when you think of mastering your mindset in the ancient times when there's nothing going on, you should go to fucking school and whatever, it's so easy. But try mastering your mindset when this thing buzzes. And all my life, I've had my phone on silent mode. Like no one's ever reached me, so I can, because I know how to manifest. Even when I didn't finish these books, I knew what the fuck I'm doing. It was just kind of chaotic how I was doing it. But you guys get a vibration and a trigger from the external world every few minutes, so you're fucked. So how easy would it be for you guys to create a new world for yourself if you lived in the ancient times? Versus now with social media and your friends and all these distractions. And you have to balance it. You have to stay with your friends, but not be distracted by them. You can't just monk mode, right? That's like you living your deepest myth. It's like you becoming who you already are. It. You just have to tune the radio. It's very like, have you ever watched, even me? You'd be like, man, Zerka looks a little demonic here. And then you'll watch some videos of me and you'll be like, oh, he looks really like holy and happy here. Dude, that's two different states. That's two different realities. You see me turn into two, you can tell, you can see the creator when he's in the wrong reality. Even the chat will say, oh, I miss the old Zerka. Like, go back into that alchemy, but you can't go back. You can only go forward. I hate when I get a family group chat. No, yeah, all my life, my family would frustrate me, so I'd try and run away from them. But now they're afraid to give me bad news or negative. They just all smile around me because they're like, "Man, you really do good in life when when you're not triggered, right?" Because like your mom or your sister's problems can become yours very quick, and that means you stop creating, and that means you're a weaker person. Like you can't save your sister if you're not creating a better world. You know, it's yeah, 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 yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, yeah. What did you mean when you said you were beta in Japan? Um, like a lot of creators lie and say I was once a nerd who played video games and was shy, and then it's like everyone goes like they roll their eyes, and it's like yeah, we get it. You're trying to like get likes and be relatable, but yeah, I posted that to show you guys like I'm not lying. Like I was. Anyone seen that footage of me? Yeah. Uh, Also, the weird thing about me is like when you guys watch me, do you ever see kind of like a nerdy side of me? Like imagine me next to Heel Mike. Don't you see like kind of like a dork who used to be me? Like a kind of nerd. Like when I stand next to Heel Mike, you can kind of see it. Do you ever see it? You go, oh, this guy had the gamer life, and Heel Mike never. He had like the weird normie upbringing. To me, it's weird, but yeah. So what you're seeing there is like that. It's so gay to say because it's like trying to relate to people who don't got their shit going on. But I can't tell you how much of a nerd I was. Like, people think I lie when I say my first date was almost 20 years old. This is very old in where I'm from, in Vancouver, right? Um, I was never invited to a high school party, which you can kind of see it when I say fuck high school people are losers. You know where that's coming from. Like, obviously, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still in the back of my head because I was always funny. I was like, why am I not invited to these parties? I'm a funny guy. Yeah. Which is weird because I'd see them in my nightclubs and then I was the popular guy and they were like the losers and shit. But I always remember I'm like, when I got onto Twitch for like years, Destiny's community is like, he's never a nerd. This guy's like a Chad. He's from college and very weird shit. Uh, which you can even see me use my nerdier side on women because then it shows like more depth and character development and it's so much more charming if you've it's like the ugly girl that became hot. Like so much more charming than just a hot, right? You know what I mean? And I use that to my advantage. But basically, that footage of me in Japan and stuff like that, I'll try and get you guys more content. I can ask Eden. They can send it to me of who I was before. And I don't like to talk about it too much because, when I said I need something freak to happen, I really did some self-destructive shit to become a different person. But promise you, bro, I would have had some spiritual death if I didn't. I'm like that. I'm that kind of guy that it needs to change. And that's the scariest thing is if you feel like you're the same person from high school as 25-year-old adult, that no change thing, I think that would drive me into psychosis. Like one in the chat, if you being the same person, and a lot of people lie to themselves. They go, "Oh, I've changed. Everyone changes at 25." No, I'm saying if you run into your high school buddies and they see you, do they treat you the same? If they're treating you the same, you haven't changed. That's the truth. And that's the scary part because it's like then you know you have a problem with the alchemy of changing states of mind. Like you have a serious confidence issue if you're not completely different, right? And then you're gonna have the midlife crises where, oh, I need to do something, right? But if you're changing week after week, going up the ladder, you just become those happy guys who are happy at 50 and killing it in life. But if you do this thing that I do, where a few years of no change and then drastic change, and a few years of that's not good at all. Like, don't do that. So nothing was an accident; it had to happen. Yeah, yeah, I believe that, but I also believe if everything good is from God, all blessings, I didn't have to damage my health, organs, and all. I could have done it in a different way. I didn't have to. It didn't have to be so extreme, which is the sad thing because I have to preach to be extreme to chatters because they're stuck. But extreme doesn't work for someone like me who is extreme. So I have to middle path it, right? When I preach to you guys to be more extreme, it's kind of like to get the wheels going. I'm not actually saying you have to keep transforming every month to completely change as who you are. You have to just keep the good and delete the bad as you go, delete the bad as you go, delete the bad as you go. The cool thing is you guys have more stable brains than me, right? Because you're more boring than me. So that means I can't really fuck you up if I say, come on, get your shit together, go extreme. Like, I can't fuck you up. It's not like you're going to kill yourself and shit. You're not going to fucking run a truck into, because you guys have more midline brains. That's what, midline just means less interesting. Like, you could tell boring people have very midline thoughts. Their thoughts are like, tomorrow I'll have a cheeseburger. They don't have thoughts like, tomorrow I'm another step closer to millions. They don't have those wondrous thoughts, and it's very sad. More on alchemy, please. Yeah, so basically, why we go to sleep is to be resurrected into our new form, and our new form comes from the world of forms, which is the now. It's always the now, the today. It's who you are being. I am this form. So if you are depressed, I got news for you. You're waking up into that world. It's so bad. And they lie to us so much that you have OCD and all this shit is so bullshit. There's no such thing as OCD. There's most of this shit, these traumas are from grief. There's scientists who came out and literally it said ADHD, OCD, all from some grief or some moment. They didn't know how to deal with their grief, so they think they have it for life. There's no state of consciousness you can have for life. That's impossible. There's no such thing as I have this for life. You don't have this for life. Does that make sense? Like if you have OCD, something's unresolved, right? Opposites need to be reconciled, meaning you have to face this, whatever the fuck this is. And people are like, well, it's been 10 years. Yeah, you haven't faced it in fucking 10 years. That's why you think it's forever, you idiot. And as soon as you face it, you're on to the next level. Choom, 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 choom. Oh, I gotta do this for everything? Yes, that's every human on earth has to do this with every thought. You wake up and it's just like planting one seed to every hour is a seed. And then these barely grow. And then the one you emotionally charge, I am a millionaire. This one starts growing. But if you're faking emotions, it's not growing. So you have to bind it with your family. My family needs the health care. And I can only give it to them if I'm a millionaire. My family's closer to me, less arguments when I have more money. The girl I want, I don't need her because she wants me. I'm a millionaire. You get it? You use everything, all your surroundings into your imagination to do it, but don't do it in the future. It won't work. It will work in a slow, weird, jagged way, like you've seen how yours goes. No human has ever been taught that the Illuminati, the eye of the pyramid is I am. Well, the government don't want you to know. Do you think royal family wants you to know this? The Spirit, the Holy Spirit dwells in you. The creation, eternal life dwells in you. And it's always being poured out. Or you can shoot it this way and nut. Go just nut. But here's the thing, bro. How many people have good lives who fap every day? They have a normal life. They're not really attached to the fapping. Yeah, it's because they're not attached. Go fap if you want. I don't really recommend it. But if you got to do it, go do it. And then go back onto as soon as you do it, go back into the mindset that you're a winner. Don't dwell. Like, I can't believe how many people I fucked over by, I fapped, I messed up who cares? There's psychic content always. There's electricity always in your spinal cord, bro. It's not the end of the world. Now, holding your seed, especially in your sleep, is, wow, that shit grows quick. Yeah. So that transmutation is, like, people think when you nut is when you're creating. No. It's all the thought forms you had when you were piping, when you were on a date holding her hand. You've thought about having a kid with the bitch for weeks before that nut, that emotionally charged nut gets her pregnant. It's not the nut. Trust me on that. And you ask deep down, did you want to have a kid? They go, no, I didn't. But most dudes will tell you when they're drunk, they go, yeah, I kind of wanted it. I wanted it to happen. That in occult mystery school training, they would say that the peak of nutting with a partner is just this much of the pyramid of energy. The rest is the date, the meeting them, the whole thing is an act. This part is just the ending. I don't know why we focus so much on that. It's all electricity and magnetism. Her magnetism, you electricity, and it's warm, and then people just focus on this peak. This is a shallow peak. Don't focus on the peak. That's why you build a relationship with someone and get married, right? That's the whole union. It's not just, this is not the union, bro. That's just like the icing on the cake. I have no idea why we have this obsession with that. Now check this out. If you don't have feelings for the bitch, there is nothing but that peak. So it's like this big of a mountain. That's why it's so awkward and weird. It's like incorrect union, incorrect creation. Now, what about 90% of your life that you're not doing this with a partner? You're still doing that through your mind. It's just creating all the time. Light, bro. It's just photons. All right. Let me see. Okay. Does that make sense? Ask me questions. I'll break it down if I'm not making sense, because I feel like when I do these, I talk, and then you guys say, well, this part didn't make sense, and then I can explain, right? No, we don't talk about health here. Yeah, basically you use your crush, your family, and all these good images in your life, anything good, into you push it through your imaginative nerve. So basically, the most important time, obviously, what I tell you guys is before bed, right? And then I'll give you all my notes one-on-one, all my fucking notes if you need a full explanation. But check this out. The most important part is before bed. But most guys who do it correctly are literally all day they walk with the feeling, I am a millionaire, and they walk with their girlfriend in their head or whatever they're trying to do. A girlfriend's a big one for guys for some reason. I don't know. Even me, for some reason, I can't use homies as well as some kind of cheerful, magnetic attitude from a chick. Because homies can piss you off in your thoughts. Which, if you ever find yourself pissed, do not try and water any of those thoughts. Like, you need to move on, or else you're a woman. That's why women hate their lives. They water only negative thoughts. It's very sad, actually, because I swear to God, this sounds evil. I would never, ever explain to a woman how to manifest. Because I know, for some reason, I know they're going to fuck it up. A guy is simple. It's like, oh shit, it's working. I'm going to keep doing it. But a chick is like, it's working, but he texted me and pissed me off. And a guy will be like, oh, she pissed me off, text me. I am not responding to this because I need to be a millionaire. Like, to get a bunch of chicks, I need to be a millionaire. I'm not responding to this. And then the girls don't have like that logical part of their brain. But the weird part is they do create at a rapid pace. Like, chicks just, for some reason, magnetize everything to themselves. Like, they're actually seen as flowers in this spiritual realm. It's really, I don't want to say unfair, but it feels unfair, right? Anyone else feel like it's unfair? So this is what the libido on zodiac is, right? The libido is the zodiac, and it's just creation. And don't think of having kids, bro. Think of having ideas, right? Because even kids live in ideas, right? Like your house, before you have a house for your kid, it's an idea that you can afford and buy a house, right? It's all an idea. Like, you should have your ideas watered, and then you should have a kid, right? I guess the scariest part is, obviously I have a bunch of guys who know this shit. They're in the communities. They know this shit well. And I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them are lazy, bro. They talk to me like, yeah, I made 4 million last year, and this year nothing. Yeah, I'll get back to it. And those guys think just because they have the system of creation that they could just go back to it. It's tricky, bro. Don't fall off. It's the one time you don't want to fall off that wheel of creation. This is not something you want to come back to, or else you'll see a life like mine, which for some of you guys love it. Like, oh, it's okay. You have a great life. You've done everything. You traveled everywhere. There's a lot of gaps, bro. I feel like there's people like 50 Cent who don't have many gaps in between their success, any breaks, they're just constantly climbing, and he does dumb shit all the time and always winning. He's safe. And I'm telling you, like, I'm not a role model for, like, if I'm the up and down channel, I'm worried you guys become up and down in energy. Up and down means a charge. That's not a feeling. A charge it comes with a dip. A feeling it stays. You've been psyoped into thinking feelings do this and shit. No, bro. A pleasant feeling stays with you, right? If you went on a great vacation, I can turn on that vacation spot in the Caribbean with you and your girl, turn it on, and you can stay in that feeling before bed. You can actually be like, oh wow, this is easy. Do you get it? Feelings are not like this. These are charges. This is something else, right? And obviously charges feel like they damage seeds hard. If it feels like that, then it does. It's really weird how God made it so simple. Like, just be a good person and go to work and don't do harm intentionally. If you have someone, this is the strongest shit. If you have a friend that pissed you off, if you close your mind and imagine him acting the right way. So I do this a lot of times with Mike. I'm like, he's sober, he's healthy, he's safe. And obviously, I gotta focus more on this because you have to do it with everyone in your life. And that shifts reality, dude. You're gonna be around a more healthy friend group and stuff, because you being good with your homie can only be inspired in his mind if you bless him. You have to literally ask God for that blessing by being. For some reason, you can't. Asking God is not, especially in the Bible, it says pretty much There's so many prayers that are heavily blown up by the Catholic Church, but the one where it says you've already received it, just feel that you have received it and it's yours, that one is not blown up. They don't talk about that one. And that's the only one that's ever been written about that works 100%. But it's weird. It's like you you bump into a girl, you have a bad interaction with her, then she walks away. You close your eyes, and imagine how a good interaction with her would have went. And then next time you see her, you have a good interaction. It's almost like you planted a good interaction, and you have to do that for all your negative thoughts. So obviously, this is the secret of masonry, every mystery school, and obviously they hide it because they're perverts, bro. They eventually just want to snake everyone. The last thing they want is for you to think you're that powerful. Imagine that's the last thing these guys want. But most of these mystery schools were good people. Then they got very perverted, changed text. Like in Judaism, bro, Jews were the purest people on earth. They weren't pantheon kind of guys. They were the purest people with this knowledge. And then they changed their texts and their Talmudic texts, and they started saying that Christians are cattle and animals, and they got dark, bro. Yeah, the camp is split into two types of people. People who know that the Spirit dwells within us, the Holy Spirit, and we can create with it, right? Or destroy with it. And then there's the second group who say, the Spirit dwells in me because I am God. These guys are satanic as fuck. These guys are retarded as fuck. Because they're not realizing they're in a limited role. Like I'm playing Circa, you're playing your guy. That's a limited role still. Now you can maximize your role. The end to death, right? Beginning to end, the end is already determined. So feel safe and comfortable. God got your back. But what is not determined is how you get to the end. Do you want to get to the end as a millionaire or a broke bitch? That part you can fill in. God literally says go fill in that part. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's insanity. That the end is full. The end is done. The only thing you have is the now. That's insanity. That they don't talk about free will correctly. They break it down in weird, everything's predetermined, bro. Yeah, you were supposed to get fucking spat on. No, you did that part to yourself. The ending is determined 100%, but the now, you can play your role to the maximum level. You can reach level 99 or level 10. Whatever the fuck you want, you can do because you're going to the same fucking psychic airport. You're going to the same airport as me. We're all same destination, but how we get there, you can either be in the back of the ship or the front of the ship. You can either be with the fucking drug dealers in the back of the ship or the good people in the front doing good. So it's up to you. Which is insane that God would give us that much free will. That's like, I wouldn't even design a system like that. He's way more generous than any human. Go deeper. I'm trying, bro. I'm really trying because I'm spewing all these books, but I'm trying so hard not to get you guys in this mindset where, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every video that says hustle, hustle, hustle is not talking to you guys when you're negative and triggered. Are you hustling when you're negative and triggered? Yeah, just do it anyway. Discipline, discipline. Yeah, okay. But how disciplined would you be if you actually mastered visualization? If you imagined correctly you winning, how much easier is discipline after that? This visualization is so much more important than whatever the fuck you're actively doing physically. Like, oh, I'm working out, and you can work out all day till you're blue in the face, but if you've seen it in your head of you shredded, ripped, if you've seen it, you felt it, you held on to it, you smiled into bed with it, it's colorful, it's there. That's the difference from you getting a few muscles versus you being an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Do you really think that the IFBB pros didn't see something that made them obsessed with that idea? Through that alchemical marriage of solar thought and lunar emotion, room in the hypo, whatever state, I can't say the word, right in the middle is birthed the star, the idea. That idea could obsess you, ruin your life, make you take roids and become an IFBB pro and ruin your life. But the point is, you were not average in the gym because you saw and felt and lived it in your head first. Now, if you're 10 years in the gym just working out and you look the same and all that shit, you're just having thoughts that are not emotionally charged. Like it's like you're just going through motions and you're skipping out on your diet. And but if you felt and seen you ripped, how do you skip your diet when you felt held onto it? There's chicks around you in your mind. You're like, holy shit, every bitch wants me. I'm ripped. Now the scary part is when I ask people, what do you really want? So many lies come up in our heads. Do you know how many lies come up in your head when you, I want this, I want. That's why I always say, stem it from family, immediate family, and crush. Once you think of your crush and immediate family, things start getting very easy because then you can feel the desire. But if you say, oh, I want money, I can tell you don't from your tone of voice, right? Like ask a guy if he wants a girlfriend, his tone is very different versus money. Men are very strange. The crazy thing is, you living like this gives you so much more time on earth because you're always focusing on the moment. And when you focus on the moment, it actually becomes a memory you can go back to. But how many good memories do you have that are hard to remember? Don't you feel cheated? Yeah, because you took it for you. There's no gratitude. You took it for granted. If you're having great memories that you don't remember, this is like, let's say you do remember your good memories. How much positive psychic content do you have to work with now? Now you can mold anything. Oh, just to explain to you guys, in occult science, this is called the, I guess I'll call it, excuse me, it's called the human atmosphere, right? Like there's an egg-shaped atmosphere. They've already proven this. This is like real science too. It's not just, occult science is technically not real science, but this part is. They've proven this with real science. But the point is, real science is bullshit. Go with the royal family and all these guys, they have the real shit, bro. Um, those self-realization books, they all go to a weird place where they want you to play God and your ego goes insane. I think it's very dumb. It's so obvious that you're playing a role, a finite role, with infinite fucking power backing you up. It's so much easier to understand that way because the Brahmins and those guys go way far, bro. Like that might fuck you up. Yeah, that's why, like people say, oh, you only push law of attraction through the Bible because you're a Christian. No, that's not why. That's every single channel on YouTube. That all those Christian channels that talk about this. That's all of them. That's not me because I've read all the other stuff. I've done both the shadow and the light, and I'm telling you this, for some reason, other cultures really want you to feel like you are God. That's kind of retarded, right? Even Goddard and all these guys that talk about it. Uh, I mean, try it. I know a lot of people who get far manifesting like that, but they kind of destroy their lives doing that. You know what I mean? Like they lose it at the top. Um, like who's someone who lost it making millions of dollars? Like they just got way too cocky. Yeah, though that's fucking too much. Yeah, there's a lot of those guys. Now, here's the weird thing is when you think of Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia through this lens, that means Ryan Garcia planted more seeds where he wins or more effective seeds. Let's say you have 3 mega seeds a day, right? He planted better, but But since he doesn't know what he did, he could fuck up in the future. And that means Haney didn't see himself beating Ryan. He just looked at the stats and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna win." He didn't actually see see the fight in his head. He didn't emotionally feel the win. None of that. And like, if you guys are boxers and stuff like that, like Haney's way is way too. Like, he just looked at the papers and said, "Yeah, I'm the favorite. I'm gonna win," which which is sad because now this weakens Haney in the future because he's gonna always have a chip on his shoulder, right? But why? And here's the part you guys paid for. Why does Haney have a chip on his shoulder now that he lost? Because he's thinking of what was. He's not being what is. He is a winner. He can be a winner. He's been a winner the whole time. He needs to be in a hypnotic trance. He needs someone to actually talk to him and say, "Dude, if you focus 1 second on watering your past, it's gonna come back. Just like every human's past comes back. They love to water that shit in the past." That's dangerous to do. That's why Casamaro was a hypnotist, and he would focus on Mike Tyson's just being the killer. He would never focus on Tyson's old wins or future wins, just what is. We wasted a lot of our time not focusing on the moment. And when you live like this, you can actually grab a fucking rose and enjoy it. You don't have to, "Oh, who's texting me and I'm worried. I gotta go to work. You don't gotta go shit nowhere." If you always think, "I gotta go to work, I gotta do this," just close your eyes, imagine if you didn't have that job, feel the bliss, and then go to work. You don't have to, "I need to do this, I need to do." It's kind of like Kill Mike with the, if you feel that "I need" energy when he's around chicks, like, "I need the pussy, I need," and then he doesn't get as much as me. He's like, "All right, I have it, they want me." And it's just, I do this thing where it's like, "Believe me, bitch." You know, "You bitch, you better believe me. Come into my atmosphere. I'm not coming into yours." Yeah, more questions, and I think that's the limits of. I'm not gonna lie though. If this information hits you in a spiritual way, don't let go of it. If it didn't hit you, you don't really get what I'm saying, then just don't worry about it because you need to find someone who explains it better. I'm trying my best to explain it in a cartoony way, like a zoomer, like that expressive way, because I know you guys don't want just information. It doesn't sink in. Talk about sitting in the feeling and memories before. Yeah, basically you're sitting in the end, which is so weird to think about, but it's not weird. Once you sit, don't think of you getting millions. You have millions right now. You're sitting on millions. Let's say this is a good example, which is, it's actually a bad example because you guys don't want millions. A lot of you guys want other things. Once you know what you want, you can sit into that thought and you'll be like, "Holy shit, the whole day I was positive. Yo, I can't wait to go home and sit into this motherfucking thought." Or maybe you're going for a walk and you sit on it, and the guys who are really good, they never let go of it. Like, excuse me, it holds you. You don't hold it. If you're holding it, it's stupid. You're not gonna hold it. The thought holds you. The feeling, the thought molecularly kind of gets changed into the feeling where, let's just say they unite. That's way better. In alchemy, they're considered, yeah, I fucked it up. Let's say they're united and the star is your new idea, right? Birth of that new, what do you think is above? What the fuck are those things in the sky? They're seeds, bro. Zoom up into a star. It's a fucking seed. You can see it. Zoom into stars, bro. Like, search up actual P900. Someone post the P900 camera zoomed in stars, because a lot of these idiots think it's that crystallized Photoshop from NASA, and it's not. Yeah. So, I've got a big question. Do you thank God for your blessings or ask for them? It's very stupid to see God as a mailman that you thank. You're supposed to live in the gratitude that you already have everything, right? So, I am a millionaire. I have this. I have that. I have a healthy family. I have everything, and that gratitude is the thank you. It's very stupid to say, please, thank you, mailman, do this. How many people do that in life and fuck up? Gratitude is an honor. You don't know gratitude. Gratitude is never a thank you. It's never, I thank you. Gratitude is, man, I want a Ferrari. I have a Ferrari. I have everything. I don't need anything. When you don't need anything, you're grateful. This need. And the weird thing is like, you're not going to magnetize the Ferrari to you. It's not coming to you unless you felt the feeling of being in it. And what do you feel when you're in a Ferrari after months of being in a Ferrari? Yeah, it's just a Ferrari, right? This is a Ferrari driver. He gets excited, and then he goes, then goes home and goes, yeah, I have a Ferrari. That, I have a Ferrari, he's had that in his head before he made it. You have this thing where it's like, I would love a Ferrari, and it becomes this thing that's unachievable in the world of forms. But if you have it right now, now it's coming to you. Weird opportunities, doors, and DMs open up to you, and it comes closer to you. Ferrari's a bad example because men don't want Ferraris. It's so weird how the stuff we talk about we want is not really going to emotionally charge us. A Ferrari, I guarantee you, didn't emotionally charge you guys. $1 million lifestyle didn't emotionally charge you guys. But if you play with it correct, your crush likes you as a millionaire. Now you come into the imaginative spot that you want. You have to use certain things in your life that you actually desire, right? And the fulfillment of those desires in your imagination is the thank you to God, right? But I would be lying if I didn't say, like, every day I say the words thank you God. Like, I still say it. Like, I'm weird. I'm still OCD about that. But I spent a lot of my life saying thank you God in an energy of resentment. And now I know why, because I wasn't living. When you're living in the gratitude, there's no resentment. Does that make sense? So for a lot of you guys, it's going to be a happy married life. That should be in your mind, because a lot of you guys get emotionally charged with that. Even me. So yeah, but it's strange how in the thought you can't be fucking up. Like, you can't be yelling at your wife and arguing in your thought, because yeah, you have to be like a good husband, and your higher self, you literally have to tune into perfect every time. If you don't tune into perfect, you're saying God is not perfect. Like, he's not giving you a blessing is perfect, dude. You can't poison the blessing. So for a lot of my life, I would just have imaginations arguing with a chick, and I'd always get the girl I want, and we'd argue and we'd break up. And then I would be like, wow, is that like, what was that, God? That was like, what the fuck? It's kind of like spitting in God's face if you're manifesting thoughts of mediocrity, where it's just a mid marriage, and don't do that. You should be hyper grateful in that thought. Yeah. Yeah. And just watch out for emotional swings. If you have emotional swings, you're not manifesting. You're doing this thing that's like, it'll take so long for the thing to come to you. So maybe a couple weeks extra, maybe a couple months extra. Who knows how much you poured into that, how much energy you poured into it. But you start hating doing this because you waited for it and it came to you, and it was nice but bittersweet. No, if you do it right, every time it comes to you, you're gonna be like, oh, this is it. This is exactly it. Uh, yeah. And you got to do it with your family members too, obviously. Like, before you have an argument with a family member, imagine what it's like you guys getting along. So laughter is the best thing for imagination. You imagine you and your family members just laughing about something, and then when you open the door, you see them, you have this energy of like, hey guys, and and you guys are laughing quicker. But man, if you don't think about it, you just open the door and start arguing with your family members and shit. No, plant the idea, bro. It'll make a change in them, and they're gonna see you glowing because they're gonna be like, oh, positive aura, right? If 90% of human communication is nonverbal, clearly we're just communicating with our thoughts and aura, dude. Like, it's so obvious. That's why you walk in a room and you're just like, what's up? Girls pick up on that energy immediately. Like, does anyone know what I'm saying here? Go deep on astral realm dreams. It's important. Yeah, why dreams are so confusing and shit like that is a lot of these planted seeds that grow awkwardly because you water them, then you water something else, then you're all over the place. That's your dreams. But when you are manifesting correct, when you're living your best life, your dreams are sound. You're sound asleep and you sleep deep and good. There's no weirdness to dreams. Even if it's weirdness, there's meaning to the weirdness. It's not just weird. A lot of weird dreams is like a chaotic mind, to be honest with you. It's a very chaotic mind. Like, if when I was going through a freedom phase, I really wanted freedom. I had a lot of dreams about tigers or just being close to these tigers, lions, wild animals. Very weird, and it meant so much, but I couldn't put my head to it. And obviously, my brother's a therapist, and he's like, "Yeah, you're trying to go to Miami, bro. Like, you feel caged up here." And yeah, I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So, thank God he knows a bit of Jung too, so he understood how to like break that down for me. And then I never had those dreams again. I was like, not that they were bad dreams. It's just you don't you want to wake up correct. Like, how many of you guys wake up and you feel like shit? Yeah, that's not normal. You're supposed to wake up at neutral or happy, one of the two. Even if you're lazy to get out of bed, you're supposed to wake up neutral. Uh, yeah. Or a lot of guys who have naps, they go, "Yeah, I feel good after a nap." Yeah, you're supposed to, after 8 hours of sleep, you're supposed to feel good, right? So it's all psychic baggage, bro. Hold on. This is, okay, what's my uptime, boys? Uh, I know I kind of just threw it on you guys, but uh, I was supposed to give you guys this information months ago, but I could not do it because part of me thinks um, it's going to add a stress to your life if you guys are sitting in your room. I'm imagining, but it's not working. And I'm like, how do I explain this in a way where it's like, only do it when it comes natural to you, and it will. Every moment of peace you have, you're gonna start gazing. That's dream gazing, right? Or daydreaming, whatever. And there it is. There's you watering the shit out of it, whatever it is. The best part is for the guys who take a few weeks to understand the system. Those guys they learn a lot about themselves in those few weeks. The guys who know who they are, now they get their shit is being planted and grown so fast. And yeah, don't ever worry that you grew the wrong thing. Worry that you're not remembering what you did to grow it, right? That's why geniuses always journal and write down their psychic activity and how their mind works. Or for example, a good trick is if you go through your feed on your phone or your gallery, what are the most depressing months of your life? Usually for you guys, I think it'll be December, if you're anything like me. And then you'll be like, huh, I've never really had a good December. I love the snow, I love Christmas, but yeah, just bad shit, bad whatever. And you can kind of pinpoint who you are those months. Like, why don't you sound like your summer self in December? Right? And usually it's a different group of friends or different, something's different. And once you have a good system of, okay, I sound like in the summertime I'm fucking stoked, in the wintertime I'm not stoked. Once you sound stoked in the winter and the summer, you're golden. That's a healthy mind, right? Yeah. That's another stupid thing is like don't think the weather should affect you that much. Okay? Don't focus too much on those people who talk about seasonal. Don't do that. That's retarded. Okay. Like anyone in the Western world can find something to be grateful about. If you want to communicate and receive from God, if you want to receive God's message every moment of your life, it's so. One in the chat if you want the secret, and the secret's gonna blow you away. Check this shit out. If you want to find God in every moment of your life, you're not gonna want to do this, but check this out. Ask yourself, what is the good of what's happening in every single moment of your life? Your car broke down, what's one good thing about that? Now you don't want to play the game, but since ancient times they would do this practice. And you get very positive in life, very healthy when you do this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm the worst at this game. Like, I'm really, if my car breaks down or some stupid shit happens, I get so angry with God. I don't say it, but I can feel it. And I feel like a bitch and shit. But once you get good at this, people in the room pick up and want to be around you. You know, you're just a positive guy, right? Like, for example, your car breaks down, oh, you get to rest today. Kick your feet up, stress free. You don't have to go to that thing. You have to somehow find the good in every. Now, I'm not gonna play the game and show you guys how to do this because I'm bad at the game. You know me, bro. I know you guys are better at that game, but it's weird how much you like, how much more meaning you get from those moments. You'd be like, oh man, God's always right here. If I'm grateful, my car broke down. What's something good about that? You find what's something good about it. You chuckle to yourself, and then you feel this warmth of, huh, it's even when I'm not praying, you're here. The Spirit literally in the Bible dwells in man. That's insane. That's insane. Now I understand how those stupid yoga YouTube blondes have 10 million followers and they go, I'm just manifesting Christ. They just stay positive no matter what the fuck happens. There's some girls who are just retardedly good at being positive. Have you seen those channels? Those fucking bitches? And I used to look at them and I'd be like, girls are miserable. How's this one getting it right? But it's this gratitude frequency. It's gratitude is like being, right? If you ever want, I don't know if I'm being grateful. Are you in the moment? In the moment is the only place you can be grateful. It's very strange. For some reason, you can't be grateful thinking about the future or the past. And I'm telling you this, I think they used to whip in ancient Egypt and shit. I think they used to whip people. I'm convinced they used to beat the shit out of students who would think about or talk about the past and future. I think literally how you train a human is to be, right? That's why when you guys who went through a lot of change, the guys that write to me, it's you guys go, I can't recognize the guy I was 7 years ago. Do you guys ever look at a photo of yourself? You go, I used to be that guy. Do you know why you can't recognize him? Because of alchemy. You've literally shifted into you went to bed one day and woke up in a different reality. That's why you're not that guy. You don't even identify with that guy. For some reason, you hold on to him and try and protect him. Fuck him, bro. Fuck him. You just focus on now. That's the only gratitude frequency. There's nothing. Do not touch that guy. I don't know why I have to like say my high school buddies are broke just because I have to protect my younger self who wasn't invited to fucking the high school parties, but my brothers were, and you know what I mean? I was just a weird anime kid. But yeah, I'm telling you, like, let go. Let go of even the good in your past. Let go of it, bro. Let go of it. Because if you're holding on to the good in your past, it's the law of assumption is you're assuming it's over. There's no more good. So this is why for years I used to tell people every month you should, if you have the means, change your whole closet, your clothing. Because if you're wearing clothing from 3 years ago, what are the chances you'll tune into that mindset of 3 years ago? You gotta feel new. Like, you know, in animes, the character would change his clothes and sword and shit because he's progressing. And that's what kind of like they talk about ceremonial magic, right? Which is just fighting. They're playing with the unconscious, really. But yeah, if I dressed you up as a king with $100 million rubies and shit like that, you're gonna be something different than you are. You're gonna feel like the even a nerd would be like, holy. Even a nerd would feel like, what the fuck? Just from putting on some stones and clothes. Now I understand how those gold digging hoes who are dressed in Louis Vuitton and stuff, they actually increase their awareness to now billionaires can hit me up and you know they get some of them and shit, but they're like going to the next level, like I just wear Louis Vuitton now or whatever the fuck those hoes do, you know, those whores, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that sense of upgrade, I know I always did it, but I'm the kind of guy that's like, I like this bed, I like this shirt, you know, I don't want to change. But it's so unhealthy for where you're going. Like it's literally a story that's playing out, and you have to become and your character week by week. You have that's why seven planes of existence, they say, or the seven gates. 7 days of the week is a complete change, right? What's this? Don't distract me. Well, we'll do dating in a sec. Hold on. Let me, guys. Should we wrap it up now? We'll go into dating now. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, for a lot of you guys who have money and shit, even if you don't have money, change your whole room setup, man. It's a new year, right? Every year you should have a completely new setup. It should feel like a different season in the anime. It can't feel, bro. There's nothing darker than having the same room for 10 fucking. Imagine Joe Rogan having the same set for 10 years. You know what I mean? Now, if Rogan could go to the next level of consciousness with the same set, which he did, yeah, that's fine. But a lot of us need change. Like we need external change. A lot of us are external like that. Like or for me, for some reason, I always need a new girl. I don't know why. I always feel like if I'm with one chick too long, I'm not going to the next. Now it's going to be Vanessa Hudgens. Now it's got to be, you know what I mean? Yeah. Another thing is for attitude, I don't think attitude should change. Imagine yourself being the man, stay there and never move. Okay? Like because I'm telling you, you're going to wake up normal again. You have to go back. Like, why do you think as kids we were obsessed with Goku? He literally transforms into the I Am in front of us. I am a Super Saiyan. And that alchemy kept upgrading to Ascended Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan, right? But why were we so into transformations as a kid? Is because that's birth, death, resurrection. That's the only thing. Or going to bed, resurrecting. That's the only thing. Past, present, future. But if you focus on the present, you have mastered both. That's the only thing, dude, Rage. That's the only thing you should be in is the present. Now, obviously right now, it's going to make so much sense to you, but wait till you have an emotional trigger tomorrow. You're going to receive some bad news, bad text message. Try it then, and you're going to be like, oh, fuck, Zerka, you're way better at this than me. Yeah, I am. You guys are literally babies in this. They're neophytes. Yeah, right now, obviously, it's like easy to understand me, but try and play this video of me talking. Try and play this video when you're going through some shit. When you're going through shit, you immediately ask what's the good in it, and then try. You're gonna be like, fuck, bro, there's nothing good here, blah, blah, blah. A good practice, I would say, is change all your thinking and language into being. So, I'm going to Miami. I am in Miami. See, now there's nothing in my head saying, should I buy this? Should I do this? Should I get this camera? All that is gone. All of that. And now I go, yeah, I think we're going to upgrade the production quality, and it's not a stress anymore. When I make it a stress, I keep pushing, do this and do. It's fucking stupid, bro. Now, for the people who think it's hocus pocus, check this out. I am GG33. Since there's no emotion, I'm not it. The thought has to be the sun and the moon have to get married and the star is born. You are the star. You get it? So you can't do it for stupid shit. Let's say, I am the man. Well, I don't believe it. There's no emotion there. That's the weakest seed ever planted. So you'll only believe me when you do it correct. And doing it correct is going to be always feeling, not emotion. Not this. It's feeling. Feeling. It's this. I don't want to say it to fuck you guys up, but it's arousal. Not in a hard. Not this way. You don't get hard. If you ever had that arousal of a good memory with a chick and you just glow in that, that's the feeling. Now, it's not up and down like arousal. It elevates you and stays and fades off. Yeah, is this a good call or what? I kind of also get mad when I do calls like this because it's like, 2 years of reading, but really the last 3, 4 months of really drilling in the topic. And now it's like, fuck, I gotta do 4 more months of reading to give another hit piece like this. Like, I hate those guys who think my next call is gonna be this life changing. Dude, focus on this one. Understand this call for that's your main goal. Actually, this is how confident I am in this. Whatever I teach in the future isn't as important as this. This is this is the one call that we have to break down and write it in notes and understand it and use symbols and do whatever you can do. I like alchemical symbols. It helps me remember, but a lot of you guys don't understand that, like, Mercury binds the sun and the moon because Mercury is thinking and curiosity, and that's the imagination, right? But all the stars, all the planets, these are all just another a symbol to explain mind, because mind is fucking everything, right? Like, Mercury can't be mind because Saturn's also mind. They're all minds. It's like Law and Order mind, and Mercury, the curious mind, and Mars is when you're angry but energized. You need that energy, and this is how they explained it for. I don't know why in ancient times they told us that they actually worshiped the god of war. Like, you have to be a retard to think ancients who had all this technology and shit and genius ideas, you have to be a retard to think they worship the gods like that. Yeah, maybe the peasants, but you think the upper class was worshiping the god of war, Mars? No, they know Mars is just you when you're angry and energized, and it can go wrong or right, right? So, like, people who are like, why are symbols so important? I know they're important, I feel it, but explain it why. If I couldn't use symbols, how would you understand what I'm saying, right? How the fuck would you understand? Like, if I use when that Goku example of Goku transforming makes sense to you, right? That's different because I'm using like an archetypal surrounded by symbols, like the aura, the lightning, the blah blah blah, right? And a lot of Christians are stupid because they'll be like, "Well, you mentioned Mars. Are you a pagan? I mentioned Goku. Does that make me worship Goku? You stupid idiot!" Right? Or Vegeta is more Mars. Like, Vegeta is literally Mars, and Goku is literally the sun. Right? They have the archetype plays in every story. Like, that's our mind is just geared into these archetypes. That's why you see a bunch of anti-heroes like Vegeta in every anime. This guy's like Vegeta, and Sasuke's like Vegeta, and this guy's like Vegeta, and this guy's like Vegeta. Well, Vegeta's like the archetype. And the archetype is a piece of your mind. Like, you have it in you. You can expand those archetypes 100%, but usually I can't change your archetypes. Like, some people are just Gohan, nerdy but can be badass. I can't make you into Vegeta. Like, you don't want to be Vegeta. Your archetype is Gohan, right? Now, is that a bad thing? No, that's the strongest unfused character in the end of Z. Literally the strongest unfused character in the end of Dragon Ball Z. That's so focus on his end. Always focus on the end. Don't focus on Gohan as a nerd. Yeah, a lot of you guys running away from being a nerd. It's like, if I ran from my little nerdy side I have in me, that's circa without reading books. I would be like Bradley Martin on here. I don't think you guys want that. Like, embrace who you are, bro. Every part of you, embrace that shit. And people are like, what? Doesn't that mean I'm embracing the bad stuff? There is no bad stuff. You are all the good. The bad is whatever the fuck you're dealing with this in the external world. But inner, when you think of inner thoughts, it's only good, bro. All that negativity comes from you opening your social media feed. A lot of you guys have an issue with that. And I fucked you guys up by getting you guys so into politics, man. I really snaked you guys there. I want to say I snaked myself, but I snapped out of it. You guys are having shit ton of trouble with, like, turning the TV off. Right? So, yeah. Like, you don't know how many miserable Christians there are because they always, hi, I'm a Christian and I'm still talking about transgenderism and how it ruined the world. And shut the fuck up. You have more to do in life than be negative about someone cutting their cock off. Enough. You know, if you're in a position of power to stop it, go ahead. But if I add my little comment here, okay, add your comment, but it's keeping you miserable. Like, you're literally obsessed with negative. Like, imagine you meet God and he goes, you spent 40 years thinking you're a good Christian because you talked about transgender issues. Didn't you, like, waste your life? Well, I saved one person from not being. No, you didn't. They're going to do it. If they want to cut their shit off, they're going to do it, bro. Now, if you become the man you're supposed to be and then say don't do it, now you have an effect in the world. But you're just. Yeah, I really think my negative attribute is your negative attribute. Guys, we have this obsession with Ukraine, Israel, politics. You can be obsessed with it if it doesn't make you negative, but we're all negative. Have you noticed how many years we've spent negative on those topics? You don't even realize we've been negative. Why are we focusing so much on that? Like, if some trans person sees you have your best life just being a boy, they're gonna want to be a boy. You're not gonna change them with your words. The fuck? You think you're Superman? Yeah. It's also crazy to say this because like years we've been doing politics and I'm still gonna dabble, but man, I had no idea how much that when I unfollowed every political channel on Twitter. I love going on Twitter now. I love it. For some reason, it always triggered me. Even our right side started triggering me because I'm like, you're affecting my mood, bro. Like, what are you mad about? Yeah, they cut their dick off. I don't want to see this. This is not my feed. This is not the world I want to live in, so I'm checking out. And people agree with living on a farm and checking out of the world, but they don't agree with checking out of politics and social media. You are agreeing of going to a farm and not looking at this shit because you live in a great farm life. But on social media, it's different. No, your social media feed, everything should be your farm, your good world. Yeah, Sneeko talking about transgenders. I'm gonna just say it, bro. He don't seem happy to me. He seems like he has ups and downs in who he is and happiness. Anyone else see that? And you look at Zerka January, February, March, April. It's kind of like the man, bro. Like, there's a good mindset. I'm not really doing this as much. And when I get into politics with Sneeko, I start doing this. Obviously, I'm always gonna try and save babies, right? Palestine stuff, but it's not ever gonna be my identity because like I'll make posts, I'll do good, but I'll move on. I'm not gonna let infinite evils of the world of these. There's always people dying. I'm not gonna let them affect me. Fuck no, bro. That's crazy. Like I've been 10 years. I've been looking at war and shit because I'm a war child. All that I'm into it. But now that I know it's blocking all my seeds from growing, I'm really, really, really not into that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Sneeko has everything, and he still has ups and downs on his happy. I feel like if a normal guy had what Sneeko had, they would they would have a way better life than him, bro. This guy's yeah, this guy is like every week he's either sad or happy or triggered or. And I'm like, dude, when you go live, it should be the spirit of Sneeko. Like Zerko when he's live, cackling, laughing, winning, giving information. That's the best content I have. Me going live into transgender, dead babies, you guys are just in there like, the world is so dark. The fuck are you following my channel for if I'm making you negative? You should like ditch me. That's what I hate about influencers is we follow them for the positive stuff and then it gets mixed with the negative and we wait for the positive. I'm not waiting anymore. Fuck that shit. You better be the shit. If I'm watching you, you better be the shit every time. The fuck? You're a part-time winner? It's retarded. Imagine Sneeko talking at this level of intellect for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. For an intelligent guy, I don't think he knows himself. Like, like when I watch Sneeko, sometimes I feel like Andrew Tate is way more intelligent than him. Like, I feel like Andrew Tate knows himself more. Like he's like, oh, I'm in Islam, but he doesn't do anything Islamic. That's really intelligent. Like he's still gonna be himself. And then Sneako's like becoming. Anyone else feel like he's becoming this Muslim channel that it's not his true myth. It's not his end game. I know that. Like in 70 years of living, I seriously doubt that's his end game. So, yeah. But it's weird because when Sneako's happy, he's way up there. So I like that. I'll watch that shit. But yeah. What does it mean to truly know yourself? Yeah. Truly knowing yourself is when you're in a room filled with people and you feel the same as when you're alone, which could take years. That's a tricky one to answer too, because, yeah. So think of Carl Jung, right? He has mastery over his mind and all that, or to the best degree. Um, yeah, he wouldn't act that different in a room alone versus with us. It would be kind of, you know, that's real confidence. And then there's influencers who are completely different. Uh, when I see you guys on the street, yo, what up, Zerka? And you guys come to talk to me, I always try and give the energy of me when I'm alone with my brother. Like we're laughing and stuff. I try and give you guys that energy because I don't like that. You've seen creators act kind of like Hollywood. And I'm like, I know you're not like that at home. Why are you acting like that? And yeah, that's why no one's ever like met me in person and said, Zerka felt fake. But if I met you guys and was like, yeah, yeah, take the picture quickly. If I did that to even one dude, if I've ever done that to one dude, he'll just go home and be like, there's no way that guy's real. That guy is like on a stream, he's like this. And then when you meet him, he's kind of like rushing me and shit. Yeah. But that obviously without life experience, you're never, ever going to act this way you act at home versus the way you act in public. Only people who have achieved mastery in what they desire, those people act like a knight. You know, a knight walks in a room, he's kind of the same. Knights didn't even tell lies, bro. They're the same person. Now, obviously, you're going to want to hide who you are in a room filled with people because people are evil, right? A lot of people can be evil. But the assumption that they can harm you is what's going to harm you, right? Just walk in the room and be invincible. And usually the matrix gets out of your way when you're like that. Yeah. It's weird because when I preach mastery is confidence, how many people have mastered something and then lost their confidence? There are those cases. They get into weird habits. Have you seen that? So once you have mastery, you don't change the formula. I like Khabib is a good example of he never changed the formula. He just became better and better. That's a great example of like psychic mastery. It's kind of like seriously doubt Khabib has anxiety and shit, right? Explain overthinking. Overthinking is an heroin addict of the past and the future. So you got nothing you're doing in the present. That's why busy people, they think less, like they overthink less. But if you're not busy doing something, building something, then you're gonna have a lot of these gaps of overthinking. Because the past and the past and the future are devilish, bro. They're devilish because they're illusions, bro. You're like literally obsessed with heroin style illusions, right? How do I fix my mood swings? I can't neutralize my emotions. Well, you can. Your mood swings come from external. There's very few mood swings people have that are not triggered by something on their phone. There's something you're looking at that you're not catching that is triggering you. Once you catch your triggers, you will delete them, or you'll be an idiot and live that life like for the rest of your life. But there are certain people you talk to. Like I'll say this, there's people who help my business, but I get a bad vibe from them. I unfollow. Because I don't want to make money feeling bad because well, that's not even money. That's like me just feeling bad, right? Now there's people that they don't really. There's a lot of people I unfollowed that I didn't even realize they're on my feed until I'm like, why am I? I don't even know I had all these people, and so I unfollowed like 800 people, and I'm like, wow, social media is so much fun again. right? But I do block and mute everything, even friends. Like any, if one of, I had five channels talk about transgenderism, and I just immediately unfollowed all of them. Like, and they messaged me, "Why'd you unfollow me?" I just don't respond because I can't explain it to them. That's their life is to talk about transgender and shit. And my life is getting people to the next level, so I become more of myself, right? So I can't be focusing on chopping dicks off anymore. Like the news really psyop does bad with that one. I can't believe I don't watch the news, and then they got me talking about this trans shit for fucking what's it been 7 years? Like I'm done. I'm done. It's like 1% of the population. It's not even a fucking big deal. It's nowhere to be found. They made it like a big boogeyman for us. Now, if Sneeko stopped talking about transgenderism and all this stuff, he has nothing to talk about, and that's a dangerous thing, right? So once you have nothing to talk about, that's when you start reading books, right? That's when you get into it. Ever read the Zohar? I'm familiar with the Zohar, but I'm not like a master at it. And it's not really a reading, it's like meditating on certain things. Uh, yeah. I'm glad Gideon went to Christ. I'm not. He did it wrong. So many people go to Christ in the wrong way. He went to Christ because he felt guilty, deleted his channels, got right with God, and now he's doing prank videos again. He's just anyone who goes to God and they have a negative experience after that from not doing anything, like nothing happened to him, that's that's like going to God out of like this guilt and shame. This is like that Christian obsessed messaging. Uh, if going to Christ didn't fill you and energize you, where the fuck did you go? And hi, I'm Gideon, and I'm a Christian now, and I'm like Zerka's chatters who are Christians, and going to Christ is the best thing that ever happened to me. Really? I almost wish he didn't, because whoever the fuck is training him has fucking raped his mind. And search up any YouTuber Christian channel. We have to we have to repent for our sins, and there's no gratitude in this life. We just hate our lives as Christians, but we're gonna say it's a good life. And it's like you can feel what God wants, bro. And God wants you to be your best self. If you're not harming anyone, go do it, right? You really think God is gonna stop a professional tennis player from living out their desires of being a pro tennis player? And God would be like, can you actually become a Christian where you repent all day? I stopped playing tennis, and what I really desire, my blessings from God, my God given talents, I stopped that to be a good Christian. It's faggot energy, bro. And I swear God is laughing at these people pissing away their talents. And that's my whole Christian community. I can't stand them. Sam Shaman, great Christian, but damn does he hate being a Christian. Bro, you can see real Christians. They glow, they smile, they're filled with spirit. Spirit you can see. I have it sometimes. You can see it in me sometimes. You can see it in me probably today, like very grateful today. But yeah, these people who Christians are stupid because they think you just transform into a Christian and you stay transformed. No, you glow into it every day. And Gideon is not glowing. Tennis players who quit tennis to be Christian uh, saints and always thinking of tennis, and yeah, that's retarded. Sam Shamoun, he's always fighting with people and not in a funny way. The guy, look, fighting isn't a bad thing, but Sam is mad at himself. He's aging rapidly doing all that shit. Like he should be glowing. It's super entertaining for us, but do you ever think Sam Shamoun doesn't have peace of mind? To me, a Christian without peace of mind looks kind of phony. And I would never say this on live because I don't want to hurt him and shit. But calm down, bro. What are you so mad about? Because if a creator like Zerka is angry, it's awesome. Because you know I'm going to bed smiling. But if Sam Shamoun is angry, you know he's going to bed like in tears. You know? Uh, or sometimes he like gets a little too. Look, man, if you're feeling a lot of negativity with religion, you've been psyoped so hard. Like, it's strange to say, but I can't name one channel, Christian channel, where I turn it on and I feel good anymore. I like Maury. He's good at that energy, but that energy is hard to find. Like, um, sometimes I think Nick is just like fucking. He's great, but if I stay on Nick, I become a warlord. Like, I can't just do Nick, bro. I need more peaceful shit. Yeah, yeah. Nick's more politics for me. Yeah, his recall ability, his memory is a god. Like Sam Shamoun was put on Earth to debate Christianity, no doubt about that. That's his god. But why does he hate doing it sometimes? Right? You should never hate playing your game, tennis or whatever it is. For me, Gideon is the greatest example of going to God, but God's not there. And it sounds cruel, and I don't give a fuck because he almost psyoped me, so fuck him. I'm not saying he did something negative to me. I watched his example and I had weird ideas in my head. I was like, what if every creator stopped creating and being funny and just went to Christ? That's a better world. And then I'm like, yeah, it's a better world if they're grateful for it, but they're not. You can see they're not. They're literally. It looks like Gideon's angry at someone. Like it's not the same Gideon, and it's like if the spirit of goodness left Gideon, what the fuck is he dwelling in? He just looks very. Anyone else stop following Gideon because it felt depressing? Yeah, yeah. That's why it's so scary when people try and interpret the Bible because technically he did the right thing, but in spirit he did the wrong thing. His spirit hates being what he is now. And to me, if you hate being a Christian, you are no Christian, bro. There's no way. Hell no, you're not a Christian. If you hate being a Christian, you're a Christian. Like what? That's retarded. Yeah. Yeah, no one cares about him anymore. Yeah, well, dude, if you don't play with your God gifted abilities, you're ungrateful, right? Gideon's a funny guy, and he stopped being funny to what did he want to do? He felt guilty for some shit, and he wanted the world to know he's better. And the guys, look at me, I'm better. And that's when I say that's that monk syndrome of, hey, if I become a Christian monk, I'm a good Christian. Yeah, Gideon became a Christian monk, and look at that. He's literally unhappy as a millionaire. That's the biggest spit in the face to God I've ever seen. Like, bro, just sit down and enjoy your fucking life, bro. You know, people would kill for that life. Yeah, I really think Gideon's prank videos didn't do that much harm. A little bit of harm, but that's how humans make mistakes and shit. I can see that easily being forgiven. Like he made it look like he killed someone and totally psyop Christianity and yeah, totally stupid shit. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to say this live because I don't want Gideon to be more sad and all that, whatever the fuck he's going through. But have you guys ever been in a self-loathing phase in your life where you cope with religion? Yeah, you're not with God, bro. There's nothing in the Bible there that talks about you whipping your own back that hard and shit. I get the Catholics like to do that, but uh, when you go open scripture, you should be glowing. If you're not glowing, step away from it because you are in a dark place. You're gonna start hating your own book. And that's what Gideon did. He like went back to prank videos and he like totally did everything. He literally it's like snaking everyone, but he snaked himself. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Do you think you need to come to God through wisdom, Jesus, to be definite in belief? No, that's stupid mindset. Definite in belief. There is no definite in belief if it requires faith. That's like my biggest question is how do I remain a Christian every day of my life? No one can do that. No one is. That's why you struggle with faith, you idiot. No one can be perfect. Like it's not gonna just pour into you, right? But you can get into a routine where you're your highest self every day. That's for sure. You can do that. Ben Carson's done it. A lot of good Christians have done it. But yeah, yeah, faith should feel natural. It shouldn't be this struggle, right? Like a lot of you guys who are Christians and research opposing opinions that make you less Christian, you don't have to research that. It's not for you. If it's damaging you, it's not. Anything damaging you is It's a waste of time, bro. I'm telling you. Uh, I think you guys will be healthier if you realize 90% of Christian, I'm not just saying this, bro, 90% of Christian content really becomes this watered down, boring life where you can't even go to a music festival. They've psyoped the fuck out of you. I'm not telling you to spend your life in festivals, but if you want to get some ice cream with your nephew at a music festival, there's no religion there. Just go do it. Like, you're so stupid for always making God your punisher. Don't do that. You can see people win without God all the time. Look at Floyd Mayweather, but he believes in the gift. He has faith in the gift God gave him. He can see it, imagine it. So God rewards him. If God rewards millions and billions of atheists, you don't have to be this perfect Christian that these guys lie to you about, and they're not perfect themselves. Go have some ice cream at the music festival. Have fun. This whipping yourself and shit is very. I want the influencers to whip themselves, but chat's not that crazy. The influencers are crazy. They need to repent. Yeah. Why did talking to atheists make me depressed? Yeah, I avoid them. I don't think I have one atheist friend. I avoid the shit out of them. Yeah. I can talk to universe guys, but not atheists. They do get boring fast. But have you ever noticed a lot of atheists do get blessed financially, shit like that? Like they're creating correct, bro. They're creating correct. So it's really interesting how God gifts everyone, even if they don't believe in Him. Now the guys who believe in Him obviously go further because they can imagine further, way further. Like Floyd Mayweather is the biggest believer in his blessing. He doesn't even know it. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of stupid Christians are going to tell you Floyd made his money through the devil. Like, that's every Christian channel will say, if you make $1 million, you're with the devil. It's stupid because the devil's the deceiver. If he's the deceiver, he can't give you anything. He's lying to you. That's why it says in the Bible, everything good is from God. Meaning every penny Jeffrey Epstein has is from God. What? What do you think, the devil? The devil just took his fucking soul and made him a demoralized degenerate. The devil can't do no good. The fuck? He'll offer you all the material wealth, so you'll snake people for it. Now, you snaking people for money, that's devilish. That I can understand that. But if you didn't snake nobody and you're a millionaire, there's no devil in your equation, you fucking idiot. Obviously, greed and stuff will corrupt Jeffrey Epstein and he'll start doing perverted shit. But devil can't create good, bro. That's never been once written in the Bible. Although in the market, the free market, snaking people does get you to the top faster. So I guess the devil can help you there. But no, if you have a trampoline, it's from God. Anything you buy that's good is from God, right? Everything else is shadows, like projections. How do we ascend from the bad traits we inherited from our parents? Well, you are not your parents. So you say, I am not my parents. You say, I am me. I am this. I am successful. I am wanted. And then you feel what it's like to be that. And you go do it every day till it's routine. And you're grateful. You're not angry doing it. And then you start seeing the difference from you and your dad and mom. And then they start looking at you like, wow, that's our son. But if you just compare, well, I'm like this, I'm like that, shut the fuck up, bro. Now, when you're expressing the good parts of your personality and it's working, your parents also have those good parts, right? You guys are still cut from the same cloth, but they chose just not to be it. They're just negative people. They're not being the correct parts or the real parts. They're being their shadow parts, right? Like there's a world of forms and a world of shadows, and this is the world of shadows, bro. Once you think of your good form in alchemy, you be it. Just be it. Yeah. Yeah, construction on the mega church. Yeah, not anytime soon because Christians would hate this content. They'd be like, "No, Gideon's a good Christian. I can see it in his depressed eyeballs." I was like, "Bro, we're all feeling the same thing, right?" Like, I'll tell you this: Sneeko doesn't look like a healthy Muslim to me. He looks weird. He looks like he's half. Like he looks dedicated to it, but in a way where he doesn't want to be. Bro, if you have no desire, like you should have genuine desire for God, right? Or check this out: have genuine desire for good, just goodness. I'm like, there you are, there you are, you're finished. You don't even have to focus on God, just goodness, and you'll start leveling up. And Sneeko doesn't see all the good in his faith. Like, there's no way he does. He looks very mixed up to me. Like, I think he's building anxiety in his system. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that, yeah. Yeah, reading maps. I got into this a month ago and I've been obsessed. I've never done this in my life. I had no idea. Bro, the greatest exercise you can do for zeroing and calming yourself. What the fuck? Someone actually made a reading maps? Like, I'm not talking about like, oh, this is a flat earth map. I'm talking about like understanding the Gulf of Mexico, every single spot and city. And bro, it's so good to get into that. So I traveled the whole world and I look at maps, and this month I've been obsessing over that. I didn't know that's a thing though. I thought I was just doing it unconsciously. Like no one told me to do it, but yeah, yeah. Because I use the Caribbean to visualize what I want a lot. I had no idea it meant so much to me. So like a lot. All right. What's my uptime, guys? You guys are taking way too much time. I have something to do. You mentioned guys tease girls wrong, like your skin is dry, and the proper way is your skin is dry like a dinosaur from Toy Story. What is the idea behind this? Well, one idea is it's goofy and playful, and the other is focusing on the dead skin. And all I want is you to change it into playground insults, like when we were kids, but nothing that makes them feel unattractive for real, right? So you have dry skin, it turns them off, and then you can't progress. You can't grab. But if you say your skin is like a dinosaur, she'll smile and laugh, you'll laugh, and she'll be insecure enough to, play with that energy, you know. But Sneeko, he'll be like, your literal pimples are exploding. And I don't like that because, yeah, it's fun on stream, but if you do that alone with them, they're not gonna let you progress, bro, at all. Like it's gonna be an awkward hookup. I'll tell you that. All right, let's hammer out some questions. We got 20 minutes left. That's a lot of time for you guys because gotta hit the books again. I gotta pick some books for US. I'm bringing like 5 or 6, and we gotta pack that shit. Keep saying to do this, but holy shit, bro, I need to fuck off. Yeah, Merns, I don't have any of her socials. If you had to remember one thing when talking to a girl, what would it be? Exactly, I've always, you ever see Heel Mike and Zerka in front of girls? I do this without no one noticing it. I don't even notice I'm doing it. I be the man. And when Mike's around girls, he becomes whatever he thinks she wants him to be. So Mike's opinions change and he goes, well, you like macaroni, and yeah, macaroni's good, but, and then Mia, macaroni sucks. And then I'm that guy to her and she goes, oh. Have you noticed that Mike is always compromising to kind of find some middle ground with the chick? I hate using him as an example, but since you guys watch all that content, like I really, like, here's the truth, bro. I've grabbed Mike like this and I've been like, bro, you're killing it today. Stay as this guy. I've told him that and he's killed it even harder. But there are times where he'll act correct with one chick, 4 more come into his house, and then he'll start changing for the other ones, and they start calling him out on the change. And I'm like, he's not being the man, the higher man he is. He's being her man, her man, her man. He's being multiple. There's no iconic. There's nothing iconic there. You know what I mean? Am I explaining it correct? Is Hamza a dog for lying to his girl? I don't care. That's negative, bro. I don't really give a fuck. What did you mean by when you said you never talk about topics Neon and Sam talk about? What should you avoid talking to a girl? Yeah, it's simple, dude. If it doesn't feel like a state of play, you're losing. So, for example, what do you do for work? Oh, really? I do this. And politics? And did you go to that university? And that's awkward. But I sit down next to a girl and I go, you remember Zazu? You look like Zazu. And she starts laughing. That's all literal manipulation. Literal manipulation. Literal manipulation. And then Hugh, Mike, and everyone gets excited. And people are like, how did you figure this out? Are you a genius? It's because my natural brain goes to Lion King. My brain just goes there. And I realize it works. I never studied this shit. I just realized the goofier part of me makes things cozier for people. Have you noticed that? My streams are a lot cozier than most streamers because of that kind of. I use that boy charm a lot. Sneeko does it sometimes. Tate, a lot of people will use, like, Tate will be like, hold a sword. That's adorable. People love that shit because we don't want to talk about politics and transgender. And we want to talk about stupid shit because if you can push information into your chat through a stupid, funny, playful way, you win. You're a millionaire. That's it. Now, if you do that with chicks, you have their heart forever. So what do you do for work? Oh, yeah? So that's your world? That's the world you live in? Uh-huh. Okay. And then you go to school? That's the world you live in? But then look at me. Zazu is bad at. I'm not saying you look like Zazu. You smell like a bird. We laugh, right? She's in my world. Nobody wants to be in their own world, bro. Zerka, don't you want to be in your own world? I try to, but if I'm around a cute chick, she starts pulling me into hers if she's charming, which is very rare. They're just hot. Reminding a girl she's in her world is so stupid. It's Myron teaches pickup. He's great at all this. He just doesn't get what I'm saying here because he doesn't do it. Have you noticed that? For him, it's more like calculating and banging, and yeah, we're banging at this time, and it's not good. If Myron had that sense of play, he would be unstoppable. Fresh has more of it, but it's strange how he does it. If you're reminding her of her world, you're not special to her. If you're reminding her of everything that is fun in life, there's one song that matters. Girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls. You know that song? It's true. That's why a billionaire can get their bitch stolen by me if we're in the right lobbies. Why? Because they're retarded. They just want to. They're all play. They don't have thought, man. It's weird to say this, but they're all play. They don't have thought. And play, that's why they manifest they're magnets to what they want. And we got to be more like that. Like, play. I answered that in full. If you don't understand after I answered that, you're a fucking retard. Okay? You talk to a bitch and it feels like a job interview, you're losing. That's it. You're losing. Because there is one guy who's going to be like, yo, if the freak, Andrew Tate, I swear he stole this shit from me, bro. When I talk about zombie apocalypses with chicks a lot and protecting them, and he talks about if burglars come in or something, which is great. He gets it. Because he has boy energy around the boys, right? If you're worried about doing this, you can easily on a date say, I don't want to talk politics and this shit's negative. Say something positive, and she'll smile. She'll be like, okay, what? I'll be like, okay, zombie apocalypse happens. Let's get some drinks and get drunk so I start making sense. And then she starts laughing. And she goes, okay, what? I go, a zombie apocalypse happens, and I bend over and bang out that zombie. Are you getting jealous or are you cool? And she starts laughing so hard. Now, I've never said this. I don't, there's not a memory. I just made it up on the spot. But my thinking is all, how silly can I make it, right? How silly. And do you see how I tripped it up by saying, let's get some drinks? Because what I'm about to say is weird. I prepped them for the weird once. Then I can stay weird, right? Have you ever seen me prep girls so I can progress far without being called out? Have you ever seen me, hey, you're like not afraid of me at all? And she goes, so confident. Yeah, what did Zerka do there? Now I have license to get weird as fuck on stream without any awkward moments. For the next 10 seconds, that's all I need, right? I literally I literally give them a fake compliment so they're cozy with me. I go, you don't mind if I put my arm here, right? She goes, no. And I grab, and she goes, ha 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 ha, you went too far now. But if I just, that's weird. Now, this is like next level shit, but I'm saying you can implant courage in her head, right? Be like, you're cool, you're awesome, but there's something about you I don't like. She goes, what? And you go like this. I don't know. And they laugh so hard at this. This is literally how conversations of play turn into that Zerka getting all of Doherty's girls, which Heel Mike cannot do and these guys cannot. They're so stupid. Just play them. Play their mind against them. It's so easy, right? It's also that this is a really strong one. I build myself up as this guy who sits down and these two girls are laughing and so much energy. And then have you ever seen me just go sit next to them and I'm super quiet and they wait? There's a trigger. They're like, they start poking me, teasing me. They're like waiting for me to bring the energy up and I go, huh. And I'm all calm. That's me checking to see if I can stimulate them, if they remember who I am. And do you get what I'm saying? Like if you sit next to them and they're just sitting there, it's kind of a bad sign. But if they're excited you're there, like, oh, this is the crazy guy. This guy brings a lot of energy, but he's not bringing any right now. And then I'll just surf in the calmness and get numbers. I'll start stealing numbers when they're calm, as in you can be with me alone. We can be calm, right? But now, if I play it like the other guys and sit down and they don't feel like, oh, this guy's not the funny guy and shit, they're not poking and they're not coming at me. You know, that magnetism is. I remember some of my subscribers are like, Zerka, he wrote this, he made a video. One of my guys, he's like, I don't like Zerka, but he's so good at this. Watch when he first entered this house and he broke down how I hit up everyone, made them all laugh and stuff, and then I kept running away from them. And the whole party would come my way, and it was like magnetizing the party to the fun, because if I'm not there, it gets awkward. That's lethal. That's exactly what I mean by you leave on good notes. And now you guys are like, it doesn't seem like you're thinking, you're just doing it. I have a beep, things got boring, walk somewhere else. I have that in my head. And sometimes I notice you guys getting bored, so I call you guys rapists, like right now. That stimulates chat. Like that's a beep, things are getting boring on stream, wake them up. That's manipulation. Now, a lot of you guys who are your personalities not all play, I don't really recommend this because it's going to come off stupid. Get some practice in first, you know? If you're in a state of play, she's just thinking one thing, he's better than me. That's why he's not nervous. Right? That's why you see like bombshells at a Nelk party freeze up and get nervous around me. They start off confident, but they start getting nervous as they talk to me because they go, this guy's having way more fun than me, right? Way more fun than me. That means he's way more cozy here and he's way higher status than me. And really, I'm just a dude in a potato costume to them. Alcohol helps with flirting. I don't recommend alcohol, but you guys paid for the truth. Yeah, I definitely recommend some wine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a hack. Like I would be lying if I said 70% of my pickups involved me having a. If I go to a steak dinner, if I don't have wine, I get really bored. When I'm bored, it's horrible. Like you should see when I'm sucking at game. It looks worse than anyone you've ever seen. Uh, like I have this thing where if the camera's on me, I don't like to lose. But if you ever have you ever seen me not care about game? Like in the beginning of the Sneeko stream, I just didn't want to do it, and then I got my whole team like Eden, just what the fuck are you doing, bro? Trying these stupid, you know? And I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot that's my job. If I don't feel like it, I'm the worst pickup dude on earth. Like if you watch me failing, I'm not just bad. I am so fucking bad. That's why I preach you always have to be on. Cause if I'm not on, I'm not just off. I'm very down bad, like horrible. Where it's weird, if Sneeko's off his game, it's not that bad. If I'm off, I'm really off. I probably could ask a stupid bitch for a number and she'd probably say no because I'm off. Like something's off about me. Yeah. Or if they watch my content, they know I'm like this guy and I'm off, it's really bad. They treat me very like, whoa, bro. Like, that's why people are like, oh, your looks and your, nope. You should see how bad I get rejected so bad if I'm having an off day. And a lot of times when I was into, like, I would read religious texts and feel negative when I'm at a party and I'd be off and they just pick up on that. Yeah, so that's why I hate that Gideon energy, bro. You can never be loser energy. Like that's losing mindset, right? You'll be a better person when you win in life. Trust me on that. Like you'll just do better things in life for people and shit. You did better on Monkey than Sneeko you did. No, I wrapped it up at the end. Yeah, which is really hard to do. To be that off and to go back on, that's really hard to do. I got to break down what I did there, but yeah, that was some black belt shit. Because to go from boring girls, which I can never blame them because it's my job, but boring girls plus boring Zerka is a nightmare. So I'm surprised they even saved that because I get frustrated sometimes. I say fuck this, and then I'm like, no, no, no. People pay me for this shit. I'm gonna win. And then I won all three of them, and they all fucking DM me that same day. And then the last one, the Brazilian one from last show, she's like, you never DM me, and we started talking. And here, let me just show you because I know like you guys aren't snitches. So, yeah, her name's Nancy Winter. So it's good. When I teach you guys that you win their heart and then ignore them for a week. That's exactly what I did. She hit me up on that show. She's like, "You're hilarious. Those girls are boring." And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." She wants to come in Miami right away, and yeah, obviously, guys don't snitch, don't show anyone that, but I, I feel like in my inner community, I'm always gonna show you guys the combos and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's so much healthier if you guys see backstage shit as well. Yeah, but obviously, I played all the girls against each other the last show. That's why they're all DMing now. Because I did. You're hot. You're a 10 out of 10. You're a 10 out of 10. You're a 10 out of 10, which really means none of you are hot. It's so good what I did there. So they're all like, which one do you actually want? How do you enjoy parties and bar/club scene if you're an introvert or not drinking? Yeah, I recommend a network, a friend group. You think of Zerka at a bar alone? Yeah, I can do good. You'll never see that. I don't think I can even last. I don't like it. So if I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it. That's why I need friends. Like this is how it goes for me. I don't know if anyone's like this. My buddies would be like, "Let's go to a bar." I go, "No, come on, bro. We're doing this, and you haven't been with us." And they kind of always force me into it. And then I let go and I go, "Yeah, let's be normal. Let's just go out." And then I go out. I've never once had in my life buddies message me, "Let's go to the bar," and I said, "Okay." Like where I'm not working, I'm just having fun. It's always a struggle to get me to go out, right? Which is stupid. If I wanted like a mastery over game, because I don't feel like this is mastery. I feel like mastery is when I was working at clubs, because that wasn't just numbers. That was like up in the back of the freaking in the sand in the beach 2 blocks away. I would just be piping. That's insane. If you met someone 5 minutes ago and you got them to the beach doing that with you, that's insane game. Insane. Where now, that would be kind of a thing. I'd have to, like, it would be a couple hours, and I cannot see myself just 5 minutes grab and fucking take to the woods and shit. I used to be very, there was no fat in my language, bro. Now there's a lot of like laughing and stuff, like a lot of time wasting shit. But I'm obviously not that guy anymore. Like I'm not into. Back then, I really, really loved to just degenerate it off. I was going through some shit. Is it normal to not approach girls who are with their mom and dad in public? If you approach a girl when they're with their mom or dad, you are the highest level of retard on earth. Like, whoa, the fact that you're asking that question is the highest level of retard I've ever read. What dad on earth wants to see that energy? Like, if you're approaching someone, the dad, the mom, even if they're good people, it's just such an uncomfortable situation for everyone. Like, I have a rule. If someone approaches me when I'm in public with my mom, I'll knife them in the throat with a knife and kill them. You know, I feel like that's a big no-no. That's like I barely have time with my family. I want to have some coffee without being Zerka and shit. And I hate that, bro. Like, I give the dirtiest look. If I'm with my mom and some dude's like, yo, can I get a picture? I give the dirtiest look like I'm not him. Like, are you Zerka? I'm like, nope. And I give like the nastiest. Like, I'm never mean to people, but I could just see them film my mom and put her on the internet and get her in danger and all that. And then her, you know how the internet goes, like Aiden Ross's community goes after and destroys everyone's life. I don't want any of that. Like, I never want to go to bed guilty like that. So I get really, really angry at that shit. But now, if I had like a normal community and Kick was a normal community and there was no doxing, then that's fine. I wouldn't be that angry. But the way I see it is you guys are like out to get me because you're barely into me. You're just some random dude. Yeah, super, super weird if I'm with my parents. But I'm not gonna lie, the craziest smile you'll ever see on my parents' face is when you guys come up for a photo. Like my dad goes, I think we were at YVR grabbing Clint and my cousins. And some dude's like, no, it's so good. And my dad freaks out, like, what the fuck? Because he's standing next to us for 20 minutes, and then he just turned around. So we were all standing next to each other at YVR, and he turns around, because I guess he heard my voice or something, and he just looks at me like fucking 3 feet away, and I kind of go like this, and my cousin and everyone freaks out. And then all of his buddies around him, I guess they're on a boys trip. Yo, bro, can I get a photo? And my dad's like, what the fuck do you talk about online? Like, why do people... Yeah. Because my parents have been around influencers and they just, hey, can I get a photo? And like, we know people in town, but nobody got people like the fans or whatever they are, like those normies that watch me and think I'm funny. Those guys freak out when they see me. And my parents smile so hard. They're like, holy shit, like, people really watch your shit. I was like, yeah, they do. Before that happened, I don't think my parents even believed me. Like, I'll tell them about my career, and they're like, yeah. But when that shit started happening in front of them, they're like, what? And then my parents would try and take me out to North Van and cafes, public cafes, just to see it happen again. Because we never did that shit. Because they just love to see that. They're like, oh my God, it's not a bouncer anymore. Yeah. Or they freak out when I pick up the bill, like $1,000 bill. They go like, damn. Yeah. Because I used to pick up bills when I was broke, and they'd be like, ooh, we have money, don't worry. It's like, we're rich, you're not. And now it's like, no, I'm rich. All right, I'm rich, Dad. Yeah. Like, my parents would cringe when I pick up the bill as a bouncer. They'd be like, oh, you did something good. But they'd look at each other like, we made it in life and our son is a bouncer. So they'd cringe so hard. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm the cool uncle, bro. My nephew up. I bought him out. I literally bought. I bought him so many. I did. He just had normal toys, and I'm like, oh, you're obsessed with Transformers? I'm rich. And I went on Amazon, and obviously I shouldn't have done this. I said pick whatever, and we were scrolling, and I ordered all these expensive fucking $200 Transformers that actually transform and shit. And he freaked out, and now he never gets weird. You know how like kids get weird sometimes, or a little angry at me. Never, just follows. I didn't know you can buy a kid. I'm like the cool uncle, and which is so bad because his parents are like, holy shit, you're supposed to give him one toy at a time. Don't do that. But I felt good because he said, no, that's too expensive. And I said, what? A 5-year-old is saying that to me? He's like, are you sure we can get this one? And I just ordered 9. I'm like, yeah, I think we'll get all of them. And I thought I'm being cool and shit. And then the parents are like, dude, this is how they become aggressive. Like, don't do that. 'Cause I guess it's stupid because now the parents have to do that. Like my older brother and the girl has to. Yeah. But they're stupid happy. They're like, holy shit, because he's such a good kid. He just plays with the same toys for a year. And I'm like, oh shit, you actually play with them? You enjoy them? You're not just going to throw it away like other kids? Okay, let's go hard on you. And, but now he is different because I'll be like, you want this one? He'd be like, yes. And I'll be like, is that too expensive? He's like, not for you. And I'm like, whoa, bro, I trained this kid bad, bro. Like, I'm not spending another 1,000 fucking bucks. I'm not Santa Claus. No, he's not chill. He got kicked out of kindergarten for punching a fucking. It was a boy this time. He has, yeah. He has like anger. He has like, yeah. He has like. I was like, how often does this happen with kids where they get kicked out of kindergarten? And my brother's like, it's never happened to any kid, bro. Like all 30, 40 of those kids, none of them got kicked out. So he's the most aggressive one. I was like, oh shit. So like the parents are like, you can't show him Dragon Ball. You can't show him. Transformers is the only thing I can show him. So, yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a good thing, the anger, because I'm like, that's good. But I realized like, oh, he's gonna be excluded if he gets like, I didn't even know people get expelled from kindergarten and shit. I was like, the teacher's a fucking pussy, bro. Like, yeah. No, it's funny. I shown him Avengers and all that, and he only likes Transformers. And you know what's weird? I grew up with Gundam, not Transformers, but I got into Transformers for him, and then I actually got into it. Bro, did you know that there's 1 million Transformers? Like, what's Magnus? What's his name? There's a truck from the old show I used to watch that I thought was just an upgraded Optimus, but it's a different guy. Not Megatron, Ultra Magnus. And there's this new video games on your iPhone you can get for the Transformers games, and there's a new movie coming out, the trailer, and it's pretty good. And I had no idea that there's Bumblebee, Hotshot. There's like 1 million different I know Beast Wars. I know Rhinox. I didn't know that there's in the 1970s or whatever they had all these guys, and so I'm learning them, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of lit, bro. I even started watching the stupid Michael Bay movies with him, and I kind of like it. Like, you know, that new Bumblebee version where he's not yellow, he's orange with black, and he's got the battle mask and battle mode, and yeah, I'm getting into it. So it used to be, isn't it hard to watch? Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fights that are too blurry, I hate that shit. But in the new ones, they made it very smooth, very beautiful. Like the new Transformers live action movies, the fights actually make sense. It's not corny when you're watching it with a 6-year-old, bro. It's corny when you watch it with your buddies. But with a 6-year-old, it's kind of awesome. Like, 'cause he's not expecting a good storyline. Yeah. Have you watched Suits, Circa? It's the only TV show I ever got hooked on. 2013 or something. But I tried it, and me and my older brother watched every episode. It was so Batman and Robin. It was such a good show. Looking back, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Meghan Markle and whatever.
Just the way.
Yeah. Shawty isn't eating anymore love. Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up because pretty sure this is the best part of my day. Well, I have something to do, but I think I'm gonna ditch that. I'll take Eden and we'll go for some night. Do you guys have brothers? You ever go for a night drive and you talk about your future and it's not, I mean, it's realistic. It's like you're not just having a retard conversation. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm blessed, bro. For years, I tried to get him into my shit. And then obviously he just wanted to see real money, real potential, and now he's in. But this is great because I can just do retarded shit and he can run the website with diminished and dead X. I'm finally blessed and free.